Part of his journey, says Graham Potter. Less than 7 months he had in charge here at Chelsea. 11 defeats in 31 games. They finished 12 points outside the top four. Well, that's where they were when he left. £550 million spent. Potter's sacking was the 17th in April 2023. Chelsea's 17th sacking of the century. A century that's seen Chelsea win 5 Premier League titles, 6 FA Cups, 3 League Cups, 2 Europa Leagues, 2 Champions Leagues. Chelsea the first and only London club to be European champions. Badly run or finding a way to be successful, just chewing up managers and spitting them out, or that's the way they do it to be successful. There is one thing on that though, Danny Murphy. Chelsea haven't won anything since the Champions League success under Thomas Tuchel 4 years ago, and of course there's been changes in the ownership and upheaval at the football club since then, but I think time is running out. Patience wears thin, as it did with Graham Potter. They will want to be winning something or challenging at the very elite level sooner rather than later.
Yeah, of course, but I do think over those years, I mean, they had a few finals, didn't they? They lost. Yeah. I think they've lost 3 to Liverpool. But
they've specialised in losing finals in recent seasons.
But I think that's actually changed expectation a little bit. There doesn't seem to be that, especially this season, that devastation if they don't quite get a result. They're understanding it's a young squad and they're trying to do things differently. But ultimately, yeah, these fans are used to seeing trophies. And they had a little belief earlier in the season that maybe they could. The European trophy this year is a must for them, isn't it?
If they don't win that, I think it's sackable. I mean, honestly, if they don't win, given the level of opposition they've got, West Ham won it a couple of years ago.
I think if they don't win that and fall out the top fans, don't get in that top 4/5, questions will be asked.
And rightly so, I think, as well. I mean, that is in itself, I think it's a serious question to ask. When West Ham have won a trophy since Chelsea last did, that's remarkable, and says a lot for David Moyes as well.
Of course it does, but I think at the moment, if I'm a Chelsea fan, I'm seeing what's going on and what they're trying to do. Although I don't quite agree with it wholeheartedly, but personally, there's more positive than negative. There's a lot of players here that look really good. There's generally a good football to watch. Couple of sprinkling of experience and top quality. This Chelsea side could be competitive.
What I'd say is central midfield for Chelsea looks really good. They haven't got the defence right, haven't got the goalkeeper right. Up front is an issue. Do you go with Jackson? Do you keep trusting him? He's kind of looked really good. His numbers look good as well. But do you trust him to be that number 9 who can get you the goals to take you to the elite level?
I think no. I like him, but I think no, they need a little upgrade. And that's not disrespect to him. It's just the levels they're up against. Defensively is a bigger issue. If the funding all went on the keeper and centre-halves or defensive players, I think that would be the way to go, because Chelsea do make enough chances and they do score a lot of goals.
Oh, they do, but they concede a lot as well. In fact, they've been my guilty pleasure this season. Chelsea, really good fun to watch because they're great going forward, but also because it's like car crash at times at the back for them. And West Ham, similar really. They let in a lot of goals. They've got some really brilliant, technical, creative players going the other way as well, and they're managed by Graham Potter. His poker face and guarded interviews never give too much away, but I'm going to let you into a secret. Graham Potter would love to win here at Chelsea tonight with West Ham. Commentary live and exclusive on Game Night on Talksport with former England midfielder Danny Murphy alongside your commentator on Talksport, Sam Matchface.
Well, whilst clubs scramble around last minute for transfers to solve all their ills, Chelsea and West Ham are hoping 90 minutes of football can restore them to full health. Chelsea caught a cold at Manchester City after a hot start and have enjoyed a spell where they have picked up just 6 points in their last 7 games, the same kind of run that caused Frank Lampard to be surgically removed. West Ham have fought in a GP to heal their ailments. Graham Potter took over a month ago. He's presided over 1 win, 1 defeat and 1 draw in the Premier League. 3 points over the team that sacked him and meant he was out of the game for 18 months. Well, that would be just the right medicine for a Hammers team that start the night below Tottenham and Manchester United, but with a chance to leapfrog both tonight. Chelsea know a victory takes them back into the top 4. Their travel sickness has meant they haven't won on the road since they visited Dr. Tottenham. Enzo Maresca might wish he could adhere to the stay-at-home advice, because Chelsea have lost just once in their last 16 matches at Stamford Bridge. The two teams, Chelsea, João Felix not involved tonight because he's off to AC Milan. Axel Disasi, his move is off to Spurs, but he's not in the matchday squad here tonight. So it's Philip Jorgensen replacing Robert Sanchez in goal after some high-profile errors. Reece James at right back, Tosin, Levi Colwill and Marc Cucurella the back 4. Fernandes and Caicedo the two holders in midfield. Palmer in the 10 with Madueke and Sancho flanking Nicholas Jackson in attack. For West Ham United, he is back, Jared Bowen, for the first time since the 29th of December. Areola is their goalkeeper. It's a back three of Sofal, Kilman and Cresswell, Wan-Bissaka, Irving, Souček, Emerson, Kudus and Soler behind Jared Bowen in attack. Evan Ferguson has been signed from Brighton on loan for the rest of the season, but he can't play tonight. The referee is Stuart Atwell. Our VAR is Michael Salisbury. Tonight from 10, Jim White is joined by Alex Crook and Darren McAntony for our Deadline Day special live here on Talksport, our connected TV app and on YouTube as well. Later in the week, both Carabao Cup semi-finals. And next weekend, starting Friday, we've got 11 FA Cup commentaries on your radio from the FA Cup 4th round. You won't get that anywhere else. And you don't get Danny Murphy on a Monday night anywhere else either. Chelsea have to win to maintain their push for the Champions League. How can West Ham hurt them?
Yeah, just looking at the setup, I remember the game earlier in the season. I know under different management, but Chelsea caused West Ham all sorts of problems with the pace in behind. This back three of West Ham isn't blessed with pace.
Nor was that one.
Exactly. So I'd be surprised if they play anything but a deep line and just let the play be in front of them rather than try and squeeze up, especially early in the game. Last thing you want to do is go down early.
Chelsea have blue shirts, blue shorts and white socks on, attacking the shed end away to our left in the first half. It's the traditional claret and blue for West Ham United. Claret bodied shirts, light blue sleeves, light blue socks and white shorts, attacking the Matthew Harding end away to our right in this first half of the game. And Chelsea have won the last two matches between these two. 3-0 at the London Stadium that Danny just mentioned, and 5-0 here at the end of last campaign. And West Ham hate coming here, really. They've won one of their last 18 visits since 2016. Ball deep inside the Chelsea half, just in front of the 18-yard box, with Tosin Adarabioyo across to Levi Colwill, who strides up towards the halfway line and feeds it out to Cucurella, whose curly locks are flowing as he trots forward into a midfield position now from where he was stationed at left back. He tries to make up an extra man in midfield. The ball goes to Enzo Fernandez on halfway, then Reece James, who flicks it over the top for Jackson to try and get in behind. He gets ahead of Kilman but then strikes the ball against him. It ricochets and goes out over on the far side and away for a throw-in down by the corner flag, 0-0.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Lovely little curved ball inside right position. Jackson getting down that channel. Kilman actually did well to recover, but just got to give himself an extra yard there.
Well,
he's not as quick as him.
Keep your eyes peeled, because West Ham have an annoying tendency of conceding in the first 10 minutes. Here is Caicedo moving forward for Chelsea, playing it square to Levi Colwill. Colwill back to the very tall Tosin Adarabioyo. After our last Monday Night Football, I was down in the tunnel interviewing him afterwards. He is absolutely massive, and he never blinks when you talk to him either. Ball set up towards Sancho, headed back down towards the centre of the West Ham midfield. It's given away by Colwill straight to Jared Bowen. He goes on a run. It's striking off Caicedo and then getting to the edge of the penalty area, looking to feed the run of Soler. Across comes Enzo Fernandez and shepherds it out towards the far side. That's just an example of what Bowen is capable of. He's now gone down the left and produced a cross into the box, which Souček has nodded down to Soler, but he used Caicedo as a ladder, jumped upon him and crushed him to the ground and gave away a free kick inside the D that West Ham are attacking away to our right, 0-0.
Great strength from Bowen. I was talking to Aid earlier on, before the game, about his reliability when the ball goes into him. I think that's one aspect of his game that's really got better over the last couple of seasons. Very rarely loses the ball. Got good strength, good touch, good awareness. Big fan.
Some of the headlines on deadline day already today. Marcus Rashford has completed his move to Aston Villa on loan. PSG forward Marco Asensio has also joined there for the rest of the season. Evan Ferguson has joined West Ham today. And Stefanos Tsitsipas from FC Nuremberg has gone to Brighton. James Ward-Prowse back for West Ham after a spell at Nottingham Forest on loan. Burnley. Their defender John Egan has gone whole on an 18-month deal. Carney Chukwuemeka has completed his loan move to Borussia Dortmund in the last few minutes. Reading have signed winger Billy Bodin on loan from fellow League One side Burton Albion for the rest of the season. Here at Stamford Bridge, it is 0-0 between West Ham and Chelsea on this Monday night football. Remember, all the transfer action will be rounded up with Alex Crook and Jim White after 10 o'clock this evening. Ball clipped forward by Areola, looking for Mohamed Kudus. It's cut out by Levi Colwell, sent back towards the heart of the Chelsea defence, and he's going to be a little bit careful here, Caicedo, because Soler was putting pressure on him, but he guided it back to Philip Jorgensen away to our right-hand side, and Chelsea have possession again. Up through the middle of the park, out towards the right, where it's collected by Enzo Fernandez, who has his heels clipped by Andy Irving, the former Klagenfurt midfield player. Before that, he was playing for a Turkish club in Munich, a Munich club of Turkish persuasion in the third tier of the Bundesliga.
It's amazing the different stories in football, how people get to the level they're at. I was impressed with him actually. He came off the bench against Villa and did well.
Here is Tosin Adarabioyo going to the centre of midfield. He did play for Hearts in the Scottish Premier League, and he moved to German football after his contract expired there. Enjoyed the German experience, went to Klagenfurt in the Austrian Bundesliga. He scored against Red Bull Salzburg, a 22-minute hat-trick at one stage in their campaign. Ball into the box by Sancho, cut out by the bulky figure of Sofal, out towards this near side. But Chelsea hunting in packs down the left-hand side and trying to keep on the front foot, but Mohamed Kudus is trying to draw them out. He travels down the right touchline. That's certainly a Chelsea throw on the near side. And Enzo Maresco is pointing that out to the assistant on this near touchline, Konstantin Hatzidakis. And we're back underway again. Here is Palmer, just through the centre circle. 6 minutes gone, 0-0 on Talksport. He sends it wide towards the left, taken in well by Jadon Sancho, who looks to face up Wan-Bissaka, his former teammate at Manchester United. Goes infield to Palmer, lovely little flick, gets it back off Cucurella, then tries to centre the ball, blocked by Sofal, goes behind and away for a corner. That was terrific.
It's just, when I watch Palmer, it's just all so effortless. Just flows. The pictures he's got, the vision, the calmness on the ball, just a pleasure to watch. Just interesting, a couple of minutes ago, Chelsea trying to press West Ham and leaving Bowen one-on-one with, I think it was Adarabioyo. That's dangerous. It's dangerous. They did it at City, we know, but maybe they think they can do it to West Ham, but Bowen one-on-one is going to cause them a problem. 7
minutes gone, Chelsea have a corner away to our left. There's a bit of pushing and shoving in the centre. The referee not happy with Cucurella and Emerson. Those two at one stage would have been competing for Chelsea's left-back role.
Sam, you watch a lot of football. This is really starting to get to me.
Yeah, you don't like this, do you?
I don't understand why there's a need for referees to consistently 3, 4, 5, 6 times in a game pull two players who are having a little bit of argy-bargy and warn them. Just give the penalty or give the foul the other way for whichever one causes the foul. Ball in towards the far post from the corner, which has now been allowed to be taken. There was another foul inside the box. And you know what? What annoys me about that, Danny, is that Stuart Atwell has decided that is not going to be okay, and that we're going to pull them up there. And there was an infringement by a Chelsea player on a West Ham player. But what actually we didn't see, or what wasn't punished, was that Cucurella was being held back when he tried to attack the ball at the same time. There was loads of shoving and pushing going on. There always is, and you're not going to get it right all the time, but you don't have to warn people who are doing stuff to each other. Just keep your eye open, give a pen or give a foul, what you see. Talksport is the place to be for live football, no doubt about that, but it's also the place to be for big breaking transfer news. Here's Talksport's Alex Crook.
Well, I told you about 15 minutes ago, Axel Disasi to Tottenham is off. Axel Disasi to Aston Villa, very much on. I've been told in the last few minutes a loan deal until the end of the season has now been agreed between the two clubs.
It's just a game of poker that he's won because he said he would only go to Aston Villa.
I think so. I think it's player power winning the day.
Here is Madueke over on the far side. Chelsea without Disasi tonight because he looks like he's going to Villa. Here's Jackson back to goal, tries to turn it infield to Fernandez, away by Soler, and then Kudus trying to escape away from Colwell, who's really high up here, putting pressure on him. And Chelsea's press is high here. They almost won it back, but West Ham do well to get away with it because Kudus is so good on the ball, and now they've broken away on the left-hand side, and Soler is speeding forward, and he's played it infield to Irving. Irving plays it back to Soler, and now West Ham waiting for reinforcements. Irving's gone down the left side of the box, a low ball into the near post. Oh, it's spilt by Jorgensen and almost came out to Jared Bowen, who was charging down on the edge of the 6-yard box. That was a very slick West Ham United move, getting out of the press very well.
Well, Graham Potter's applauding, but I think what he's applauding is Kudus' ability to take the ball under pressure and get his team out. It was a brilliant move by West Ham. Thought for 1 second the goalie had dropped it into Bowen's path.
Yeah.
Oh.
West Ham have had a mixed bag of results since the appointment of Graham Potter, but he's definitely made an impact. Their possession numbers, their pressing statistics, their carries stand out. They are averaging significantly more high turnovers as well. And they've got some defending to do here. Here is Jackson over on the far side, winning it for Chelsea, then sending it back to Madueke. It's a bit behind Madueke, who then has to turn and travel down the right side of the box, looks to face up Emerson and Soler. Then James with a delicious cross into the box, headed away by Wan-Bissaka on the back edge of the 6-yard box. It was a swirling right-footed delivery. Colwell's won it from Kudus high up, and now Sancho takes on Sofao, gets into the area, then squeezes the ball into Jackson, who couldn't take it in. It goes across his body, it's cleared away by Souček, and then up towards Bowen, who is a real handful, isn't he? And Caicedo's having to stretch and be at his very best to snuff him out. Palmer takes it deep, just in front of the centre circle. Moves up towards that line of West Ham players as a 5 and then a 4, and he sweeps it out towards the right-hand side, and then Madueke, who then runs at 2 West Ham defenders, gives it to James. James has got that wonderful ability with his right foot to deliver the ball, but not a great pass this time. It was in between Fernandez and Madueke, and it's cleared away over on the far side by Irving. Not the greatest ball, but Bowen makes the most of it and gets crunched from behind, draws the foul. It's a free kick to West Ham, just short of the halfway line on the dead ball line, far side.
If there is one small criticism of Caicedo, they're those little moments where he finds himself really going so fast at somebody that he has to foul them. He's been great, don't get me wrong, his improvement's been huge from this season to last, and he's got so much energy and tenacity, but occasionally Bowen wasn't going anywhere there, just slow himself down a little bit.
Well, the issue that West Ham have had is, and they hope that Evan Ferguson will help solve this, is that they've only had 7 shots on target in Potter's 3 Premier League games. They've got Bowen up front today, and they've been without an out-and-out striker in 6 of their last 9 Premier League games since Mikel Antonio was injured on December the 7th. Nicholas Füllkrug led the line in 3 Premier League games under Lopetegui, but since he's got his injury, hamstring against Aston Villa, midfielder Lucas Paquetá has had to play up there. He's been the furthest forward player in Potter's 3 Premier League games. Bowen there today, but you imagine that he'll be back on the right-hand side the minute that Evan Ferguson is fit to start games and lead the line for West Ham. Here is Kudus into Irving, then up to Souček, back infield to Kudus from Sofao, and then he switches the play towards the far side. It wasn't a perfect ball, but it was dealt with by Cresswell, who's the last West Ham player to score a winning goal on this ground.
I bet it was a free kick.
I think it was. It might have been a penalty.
Okay.
I think it was one of the two. It was a long time ago, though. They've only won once here in 18 visits since 2006.
Starting well, Irving. Nice touches, got on the ball, got himself forward, been calm, controlled, composed. Good start for him.
Most of his appearances so far for West Ham have been as a substitute.
He looks comfortable.
You're listening to Chelsea nil, West Ham nil on Talksport with Sky Sports. Don't forget that you can stream the biggest Premier League games available with no contract on now, like Chelsea versus West Ham live today. Search Now Sports. And Nicholas Jackson had a piece of apparel that he didn't want anymore, so he's thrown it out to the far side. Meanwhile, what are we waiting for here? The referee, is he doing a drop ball? What's going on here? He's stopped the game for a minute.
West Ham were in possession, so give it back to them.
And we're back underway. Here is Areola just on the edge of the 18-yard box. He chips the ball forward into towards Bowen, but it's headed away by Tosin Adarabioyo. Back again from Kilman. He sort of hit that with an anvil, and it went right over the top of everybody and bounced inside the 18-yard box and straight into the arms of Philip Jurgensen away to our right-hand side.
It was one of those have-it moments, wasn't it?
It was a little bit like that. The goalkeeper played for Villarreal last season, Philip Jurgensen, and actually made a lot of saves. He had a great save percentage. Didn't keep many clean sheets because he was playing in a team that allowed a lot of shots, so that's why his saves were really high. But he's a well thought of goalkeeper. He's got the opportunity to prove that he can be Chelsea's number one, I think, over the course of the next couple of games. Robert Sanchez being dropped tonight after those high profile errors. We were here against Wolves when he chucked one in, the latest, and of course he wasn't great up at the Etihad Stadium. This guy's always great, Mohamed Kudus, who's been refreshed and reinvigorated by Graham Potter. He's won the ball high up for West Ham, and they haven't managed to escape and get into a shooting position, but they've kept the ball well. Irving plays it left and on to Cresswell, who careers into the Chelsea half. It's moved out to the far side, collected now by Emerson, then back into Irving, who plays it to Bowen, who's dispossessed by Caicedo, and now Jackson is away, and he's got space on the far side, the right for Madueke. He's played a delicious ball out with the outside of his boot into Madueke, who strikes left-footed towards the far corner, and he misses the outside of the post, the far post, by just a whisker. Brilliant Chelsea move, great counter-attack, should have been 1-0.
Well, the irony was the break-up of play, which was brilliant from Caicedo, was recovering his own mistake when he got bullied by Kudus. And then when Jackson was away, I didn't think he'd seen the little run on the right-hand side from Madueke. It was a brilliant pass from Jackson, and he's one-on-one Madueke with, I think it was Kilman or Emerson. Cut inside, Salah-like, trying to bend it in that far corner. Doesn't miss by much.
Breaking transfer news, Lloyd Kelly has completed a loan move to Italian Serie A side Juventus. That's subject to international clearance, and Blackburn are in talk with Forest for Emmanuel Dennis. Jurgensen takes the ball under control and then dispatches it, almost gave it straight to Jared Bowen, plays it towards the left, a little nervy moment for Jurgensen then. It's cleared out towards the far side. 16 minutes gone, 0-0 on Talksport Monday Night Football, the place to be every Monday night. Danny Murphy here, won by Chelsea in midfield, given away to Irving. Solaire's gone off the pitch on the far side, having hurt himself, and West Ham have possession deep inside their own half. Kudus trying to skip past Colwell. Again, Colwell nabs it. Then Madueke is nudged to the floor by Soler, who's come back onto the pitch. And it's a free kick to Chelsea, 5 yards inside opposition territory.
Kudus has started really well. Looks so sharp, quick. Only just got a foot in there, Colwell. Otherwise, he'd been by him again.
Well, one of the things that Potter did immediately was get him on side, get him playing. He said last week, Kudus, that in 3 games under Potter, I've played 4 different positions, which is a plus for me. It's also very difficult, but being versatile is good for this coach, especially with the injuries that we've got. And he was brilliant dribbling the ball against Aston Villa last week. And I think he completed 6 dribbles, which is the most of any player in the Premier League last weekend. Kilman showing a bit of skill to evade the attentions of Madueke. It just squeezed up upon him as West Ham tried to play out from the back. Irving carries the ball up to halfway. Then Soler plays it back infield to Souček. And then he switches the play out towards this near side with a lovely ball, which is right on the money for Wan-Bissaka, who down the right side beats Cucurella, produces a cross low into the box, steered away by Tosin Adarabioyo, who's on his heels a little bit but had to readjust his position and nudge it out on this near side, and it's away for a corner.
Another great move. Wan-Bissaka flies down that right side, gets in with his pace. Bowen decides to pull out, didn't pull it back, he put it across, and I actually think Wan-Bissaka did the right thing. I thought Bowen should have been flying across the centre half there towards the near post.
Ali McCoist and Jeff Stelling back tomorrow on breakfast, 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, reviewing all the transfer deadline day deals, and of course bringing you reaction to this game as well. It's tomorrow morning when you wake up, Talksport breakfast. Here's the corner for West Ham, away to our right hand side. Left-footed delivery into the box by Aaron Cresswell, and Sofal just trying to disrupt Philip Jurgensen, the goalkeeper. It's in towards the near posts, and Bowen flashed across there, didn't connect with his header, but then a second shot goes towards the feet of the goalkeeper, and it's spooned behind and away for another corner kick. Good effort that. and it was actually close to connecting with the header initially from Cresswell's cross, Jared Bowen. When he didn't, he reacted very fast. He looked sharp as well. Hasn't been playing since the 29th of December. Last goal was on Boxing Day, Jared Bowen.
Yeah, he does look fit. Looks really sharp.
Here's the corner from the near side. The second in quick succession for West Ham United. 0-0 the score, 19 gone. All into the right, into the centre of the 6-yard box. Chested down at the back post by Kudus as it's flicked away initially by Chelsea. Recycled away by Tosin. Comes back towards Irvine, who smacks it goalwards. It goes over the top of the crossbar. Got a good connection on it, but just couldn't keep it down. And it flies over the top and goes out for a goal kick away to our right-hand side. As you heard just now, big transfer news. Axel Disasi joining Aston Villa on loan. £5 million for the loan fee is exclusively revealed by us here on Talksport. And for more of that, join Jim White and Alex Brooks straight after us on the radio and on your smart connected TV. You had a lot of appliances delivered today, you were telling me. Have you got a smart connected TV?
Not yet. I've got one already, but I'm getting a new one. Getting a big one.
Right.
Big one.
We'll sort you out. Make sure you've got the Talksport connected app.
Yeah.
I've been watching you on a Wednesday. You know, you look very good on the camera.
No, that is a lie.
you look comfortable. You're very comfortable.
Yeah, I might look comfortable. Doesn't mean I look good. They're two different things.
Beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
That's true, darling.
Goal kick away to our left. Ariola to take the goal kick for West Ham United. We haven't had too much goal-mouth action so far, and actually West Ham have probably had the two best chances.
Started well, West Ham. Little spring in a step, bit of confidence.
Well, I did say to you a little bit earlier on that I thought that Chelsea would have a bit of a problem with West Ham tonight. I just had a feeling. Chelsea haven't been playing well.
No.
One win in 7 games. They come into this game in the middle of their worst run of the season. They've taken just 6 points from the last 21. Only the promoted teams and Tottenham have fewer points in that last 6 weeks. And prior to the current run, remember Chelsea was second, only 2 points behind the leaders Liverpool. Here is Madueke. Infield to James. James to Tosin, then back to Colwell. Colwell down the left, and it's intercepted by Wan-Bissaka. What a great ball that. It's cut out by Wan-Bissaka, and it's out on this near side. And West Ham with their shot on target from Jared Bowen. Their flash across the 6-yard box from the corner. And Kudus causing problems, have just unsettled Chelsea. They're in a good shape as well, West Ham, whenever they're without the ball. And Graham Potter looks to have already made his mark here. Here is James out wide to Madueke. Madueke into James once again. And then he holds it, brings it infield, gives it to Enzo Fernandez. They're pushed back to halfway, and Tosin pushes it all the way back to Philip Jurgensen, away to our right-hand side. And that's where Chelsea are at the moment. They're just struggling with a little bit of imagination to unlock the West Ham door.
They are, because West Ham have got good shape. Not playing too high, which is what I said before, so gaps are small, can't go over the top easily, distances are good.
Here is Tosin Adarabioyo forward towards Jackson, a little flick by Palmer. The return to Jackson wasn't crisp, but Kukureya did well to win it back for Chelsea. Given away, brilliant turnover by Kudus. He's feeding Bowen. Bowen was escaping, the referee's pulled it up and says it was a foul on Colwell. I think he's a lucky boy.
I agree. Didn't look anything in that to me. Great work from Kudus without the ball. Really good desire and tenacity to get after people and try and win it back.
Well, I think that was a little bit fortunate for Chelsea, because if he had been dispossessed there, well, here's Palmer, edge of the area, left-footed, drives it over the top of the crossbar. That's his first real effort tonight for Cole Palmer. And whenever he gets on the ball on the edge of the penalty area, there's always a little bit of panic amongst the opposition. But just going back to that incident, you know, they're on the halfway line there, West Ham United, and they're close to getting away. And if Bowen gets away, he is, as you mentioned earlier, one-on-one with Tosin Adarabioyo.
That's why I'm surprised Chalobah's not playing. I know at Man City a few of them struggle, but in isolation I think he's the best one in terms of pace and athleticism compared to Tosin Adarabioyo and Colwell.
Chelsea have it near side. A little bit of a tight knot, and Cucurella comes away with it. They've switched the play to the far side. There's a bit more space out there for Reece James to work with. He plays it out towards the right-hand side. It's into now Madueke. Madueke with a cross, left-footed deep. It's away by Sofal. Good header by him, and then another good header by Soucek to get it clear of the penalty area. Back out wide on this near side is Jadon Sancho. Sancho for Chelsea, right-footed. Just tries to tease his way into a crossing position. Goes past Sofal once, twice, and then his cross is blocked by Wan-Bissaka. The doubled up on him there. Goes back infield towards Palmer. Palmer back towards the edge of the centre circle. Away to Caicedo. Caicedo back out towards this near side, and now Sancho again will look to tease Wan-Bissaka. He comes on the inside. Wan-Bissaka falls over. Sancho goes for goal. Blocked by Soucek. Again, when they get past one, there's someone backing up for West Ham United. It's proving difficult for Chelsea to break them down. Madueke into James. Lovely cross. Cucurella with a header. He got it all wrong. I think he was just a little bit unsighted by the presence of Jackson, who may have got in his way, but he didn't get the header right, and it goes behind and away for a goal kick away to our left-hand side. We've played just over 24 minutes. This is Talksport. It's Chelsea 0, West Ham United 0.
Really good chance that for Chelsea. I thought it was really impressive. Sancho on the left, nice and positive, going at people, using his skill, chopping, dummying, then getting his little passes and crosses off. But yeah, Cucurella with the header, great ball in, wasn't it, from Reece James? Just lost his bearings, I think, in the last second.
Well, Middlesbrough playing Sunderland over on Talksport 2 right now, and they are in front. Delano Bergzog with the goal after 11 minutes. And a bit of transfer news coming out of Middlesbrough. They might be currently playing a game against Sunderland, but they're still making a signing. They've signed the Nigeria striker Kelechi Iheanacho on loan from Sevilla until the end of the season. Talksport, the place to be for live commentary and transfers on this Monday night, deadline night. 11 o'clock, the window shuts. And Talksport's Alex Crook and Jim White will be on your radio from 10 o'clock tonight. Here is Tosin Adarabioyo inside the centre circle, out to the right-hand side. And get our app as well, and our website has got a live blog with all the transfers, talksport.co.uk. Ball on halfway, chested down by Adarabioyo. Kudus is breathing down the neck of Colwell, and it's all the way back to Jurgensen. Well,
here we go.
Chelsea looking to try and get in behind with Jackson. You'd expect them to score tonight, Danny, because they always score goals. The only teams that have stopped them from doing so, Everton away and Ipswich away.
Always down.
Defensively, they've been so poor this season. That's been their biggest issue. They've got an issue with Jackson here, because after going up to try and take the ball out of the sky there, he has gone down. Colwell had it on the left-hand side. Cucurella picked it up, went back to Colwell on the halfway line. And then after eventually going through to Tosin, it was slid up towards Jackson. Jackson ended up falling over as he tried to take it out of the sky. As a result of that, he might have twisted something there, and he's getting treatment as a result. This is Talksport, and we're live at Stamford Bridge tonight.
Got to be careful that one over the top, Cresswell, to keep asking Kilman to cover him. With the pace of Jackson's a difficult one. Cresswell's just got to get his distances right when there's no pressure on the ball.
Just wonder what happened there with Jackson. He just sort of, as the ball came out of the sky, he just sort of tried to take it down, fell over, and then he got back up again, and then as he walked back towards the halfway line, just went down holding his left knee, which is a bit of an issue for Chelsea. It's currently Chelsea 0, West Ham 0. The latest odds are available by Ladbrokes, where right now you can get Chelsea to win at 20-7 on. Back West Ham to win at 13-2. The draw is available at 19-5. That's all thanks to Ladbrokes, 18+ BeGambleAware.org. Headline deals that have been done today on transfer deadline day 2025. As you heard Axel Disasi going to Aston Villa, 5 million loan fee. He's agreed a deal. We have brought that to you earlier in the day that he'd agreed a deal with Aston Villa. The two clubs couldn't do a deal, so Tottenham revived their interest. He don't want to go to Tottenham. He wants to go to Aston Villa. He played a bit of poker with Chelsea, and Chelsea have succumbed to that pressure. They're allowing him to go to Aston Villa now. 5 million quid for the loan fee. He'll be there for the rest of the season. Villa have also been the big movers in the transfer window, especially over the last few days. Marcus Rashford is now their player till the end of the season. He'll wear the number 9 shirt. His first game is live on Talksport on Sunday when Aston Villa take on Tottenham in the FA Cup. PSG forward Marco Asensio has been signed on loan for the rest of the season as well. Evan Ferguson's joined West Ham. The Seagulls have signed a really interesting prospect coming from Germany, Stefanos Tsimas, as a striker, a replacement maybe for Evan Ferguson. James Ward-Prowse is back at West Ham after his loan deal at Nottingham Forest was terminated, and Burnley have allowed John Egan to join Hull on an 18-month deal. Lloyd Kelly going to Juventus. Blackburn hunting Emmanuel Dennis, and Kelechi Iheanacho is heading to Middlesbrough. We're back underway, and Nicholas Jackson is back on his feet, which is good news. And they were preparing a substitute at one point. Mark Guéhiou, who has started to get ready to come on, and he's now put a bib on. I don't think they're entirely confident that Jackson's going to be okay here, Dan.
He looks all right. He ran on with a decent tempo. I'm not sure whether he tweaked the nerve or something when he landed. You never know.
Well, I'll tell you what, he'll certainly tweak a nerve if Chelsea don't get a victory here tonight, because they've only won one of their last 7 in the Premier League. Ball played down the left touchline by Cucurella, and certainly West Ham are enjoying the evening more than Chelsea are so far.
I think Graham Potter will be delighted. They look a threat at times going forward. They look confident in the ball.
Well organised as well.
They haven't conceded many chances really. The one from Cucurella, but long way to go.
Long way to go in the game, that's for sure. But the statistics certainly favour West Ham up until this point. Chelsea have had more of the ball, but Chelsea haven't had a shot on target. West Ham have had one so far. But here is Noni Madueke over on the far side, getting to the penalty area, cutting in on his left foot, feeding Enzo Fernandez, whose first time shot just goes wide of the post. Well, they've had a couple of those incidents where they've got into that sort of range and just missed the target. That's another example of what they can do when they move the ball at pace, though.
Well, it was actually Kudus who played a volleyed pass across the field and put Madueke in. And then as he's cutting inside, it was a great run from Enzo Fernandez. We haven't really seen too much of him tonight. And as he took the touch, as he's running forward on the inside right, he tried to take it early, which was the right thing to do. Just overdid it, and it trickled past the far post by a couple of feet. Good run though. Good timing of the run.
31 gone, 0-0 on Talksport. Chelsea, who have scored a lot of goals but have conceded a hell of a lot of goals recently, yet to have a shot on target on the West Ham United goal. Areola not been tested yet on his 50th appearance. He was dropped by Lopetegui. He knows what Robert Sanchez is going through. He was dropped after a terrible game away at Tottenham back in October, which was live on Talksport. Came back as a sub on Boxing Day. And Fabianski was injured. He's kept his place ever since. Here is Palmer trying to flick it round the corner, a bit too casual, cut out by Souček. James takes it down and gets Chelsea back in control. A little flick towards the left, and Colwill, who strides forward now, just left of centre, out wide to the left, and Jadon Sancho. Sancho back into Colwill, elegant footballer. The tall and lean Tosin. The thicker set Reece James, who starts to bound forward, his muscular frame.
Great ball.
Plays it infield, brilliant sight to see Cucurella. Palmer gets it round the corner for Jackson. They're on the edge of the box, far side for Madueke. Now into the area looking for Cucurella, who's made another late run in there. Comes back to Sancho, poor header by Souček. Sancho squeezes it through the 6-yard box, but it's away by the stretching Aaron Cresswell, who did just enough to steer that behind and out for a corner. Good football by Chelsea. James with a lovely little pass in the build-up to it. A lovely ball round the corner from Palmer. Madueke's cross was aimed for Cucurella. Poor header fed Sancho, who almost steered that back into a very dangerous zone.
He's actually caused in Wan-Bissaka a good few problems, Sancho. He's not reluctant to go at him, try and beat him and go on the inside, go on the outside. It's been a really bright start from him, actually.
Sunderland 1, Middlesbrough 1 on Talksport 2. Here's the corner from James in towards the middle of the 6-yard box, and they can't believe they didn't get first contact on that, Chelsea. That's a poor ball by Kudus, who thought he was playing it to Soler, but ended up giving it away. Enzo Fernandez then lost it because Kudus did well enough to get back and deflect the attempted pass into Cucurella. But Chelsea just putting a little bit of pressure on here for the first time in a sustained fashion. 33 minutes gone, 0-0. This is Jadon Sancho, who has, I think, really enjoyed his spell at Chelsea.
You can tell he's enjoying his football. The manager's given him the confidence and the freedom to go at people, make mistakes, no problem. Just needs to get a few more goals.
2 so far for Chelsea.
Yeah, Neto as well. Take that pressure off Palmer a bit. Madueke's chipping in with a few, to be fair, in recent weeks.
Well, that is a bit of an issue, isn't it? I mean, Palmer's got 14 goals. Nicholas Jackson's got 9. Madueke's got 7. You know, the next highest scorer that they've got is Tosin Adarabioyo.
Yeah. It's a problem for a lot of teams, though, isn't it? You know, Arsenal have to spread the goals out, don't they, really?
Yeah. Well, Kai Havertz now got 15 goals this season. Stuart Atwell just going to tidy up over on the far side. He wasn't happy about some of the training paraphernalia that had crept onto the pitch. There was a little white disc that was overhanging the touchline in the Chelsea right fullback position, so he had a delay before the throw-in so that he could trot over and tidy it up and make sure that it didn't cause anyone any problems. It's very important to do that. Here is Emerson trying to get it forward, blocked by Enzo Fernandez, full of energy.
Yeah,
the ball spirals out and away for a goal kick.
I think that urgency is what Chelsea need. As soon as they up the tempo and play with a bit more urgency, the fans get behind them, they look to create more chances. Just keep that urgency and tempo up in their football. When they get a bit slow and take too many touches side to side, it becomes easier to defend against. Just keep injecting those moments of pace in the game.
Bit more transfer news for you. Fulham in talks over re-signing Willian.
Really?
Doesn't have to happen tonight because he's a free agent. Interesting. Villa have reached an agreement with Disasi now and Chelsea. It looks like that's going to go through.
Well, they've got Pau Torres injured at centre-half, haven't they? And
I mean, they played Kamara at centre-half at the weekend.
I don't mind Disasi. I think he's half decent. Sometimes gives the ball away a bit and not as cultured as others in on the ball, but I think defensively he's strong. Well, I think a decent bit of business.
Could end up playing in the Champions League again for Aston Villa. Now you're listening to Chelsea 0, West Ham 0 on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Enterprise has 450 branches with all the vehicles your business needs. West Ham free kick from halfway is steered diagonally towards the left edge of the penalty area as Chelsea look at it. They then give the ball away to Kudus as they try to clear. It then breaks to Cucurella, who helps it into the midfield. Fernandez is fouled by Soler. Free kick given by Stuart Atwell. Cole Palmer goes over to engage with the referee. Don't talk to me, says Stuart Atwell. Free kick given.
Soler's got to do better. He's got to do better there. Got to be stronger. Fernandez bullied him and then his reaction was poor. It's all right getting bullied now and again by someone stronger. Then you do the work. You stay with them. You match the run. You're clever in the way you do it. You don't just go and foul them because you're a bit angry.
What do you make of that Willian decision, by the way? 36 years of age, left Olympiacos in December.
I would imagine he's super fit and super sharp still. The fans love him. Everybody speaks really highly of him who was there. Got a lot of friends still at Fulham. Honestly, they couldn't believe how good he was, how fit he was, the attitude. If he's still in the same place, then on a free, why wouldn't you?
0-0 here, 37 gone. Ball played square. It was a risky ball that by James, but he managed to find Colwell into the centre and Cucurella. Cucurella back to Tosin, back to the right now and James again. James out to the far side where it's collected by Enzo Fernandez. He runs diagonally from right into the centre. Little flick round the corner from Jackson, taken on by Bowen, and then Bowen is fouled by Moises Caicedo.
He's saying he's done him a couple of times. He's right. That's what I'm talking about with Caicedo. Too fast, going in too fast. Just, you can go fast and then slow yourself down so you don't commit the foul. He's going nowhere. He's got him in a great position.
It's been a bit stop-start as a result of some of these niggly little fouls, and I think all this plays into West Ham United's hands. They sent the ball over the top looking for Kudus. He's got the beating of Colwell into the area. Right-footed shot, just a little bit loose, and it's straight down the throat of Jurgensen. But Colwell there panicked. He absolutely panicked. The ball went over the top of the defence. He was scurrying back. Kudus had the beating of him for pace. And the other thing, Danny, is he stretched his arm out and he started to try and tug on the back of Kudus' shirt.
That's where Colwell gets isolated when they play a high line and there's a ball over the top. He's not quick enough to be play one-on-one on a high line.
Well, it's a little bit concerning for Chelsea, that. Here is Cucurella.
What a pass from Cresswell.
Yeah, beautiful. He's got that in the final year of his contract. 11 years with the Hammers. Aaron Cresswell here on the left-hand side. Ball with Madueke, though. Chelsea on the attack again. 39 gone. Again, engagement from the West Ham players immediately. They know when to straight away. As soon as the ball gets within 5 yards of their penalty area, they'll all come out straight away. Try and pinch it, try and force Chelsea back, and they've successfully done that so far. But Sancho trying to get in behind. So Foul does well, manages to half clear it. It's bouncing around in the box and no one's taken charge until Souček's come along, and he's nodded it back to his goalkeeper.
He got a bit lucky there, the keeper. He wasn't brave enough, bold enough to come and get it when he should have. Areola ended up getting it in his hands in the end, but tad fortunate. Should have come and controlled that situation.
So Foul wandering into blue traffic, sends it back to
what are you doing?
Areola. Difficult position for Wan-Bissaka, who's given it away to Cucurella, and invited pressure for Chelsea. Infield it goes. Now Palmer, square to James. 5.5 minutes before half time. Ball out on the wide right-hand side, taken on by Madueke. Fernandez waited for it. Andy Irving didn't. He nabbed it, and off they go, West Ham.
He's a very tidy footballer, this lad. Nice and accomplished and confident. Just on that goalkeeping pass out to Wan-Bissaka when Chelsea are pressing high with 4 minutes to go for half time. What chance have you got? What chance have you got of being sane when you're a manager?
Well, it's something you were talking about before the game.
There's a few minutes to go. Just got to go. You could see how close he was to Wan-Bissaka, not the goalie, the press.
Yeah. And it just means that he's got no out ball and he's going to give it away. It's just a matter of time. And then you're going to be facing an attack on your goal again.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Whereas you can do that, play long into this fella's feet, and he keeps the ball because he's strong.
Kudus gets it back to Souček. Now out to Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka moving forward, needed a pass. Irving provided the ability. And then Kudus gives it away this time, and now Chelsea look to go on the hunt. Madueke from Jackson. Madueke in the dead centre, but West Ham are getting numbers back. Out to Sancho on the near side, tries to bend it to the far corner after cutting it on his right foot from the left angle of the penalty area, but it was well wide of the goal. I mean, there's two things there. Chelsea broke at speed and they caused West Ham problems, but the speed with which everybody got back in claret and blue meant it was more difficult for Chelsea.
It was good recovery runs and it was a good break from Chelsea. It was actually Kudus again who gave the ball away, which he's had as the half's gone on. He's just got a little bit tired maybe. He had the crossfield pass that put Madueke in, and that pass there put Chelsea on the attack as well. His first half hour was outstanding. He's just got to be a bit safer when he has those moments of feeling tired, because he's working tremendously hard, Kudus, with and without the ball. So when you are a bit tired, make sure you keep the ball. Just play safe, play shorter.
Given away by Colwell, and Bowen has got it now on the edge of the area, and he's driven it low towards the far corner. A brilliant finish, a precision finish from Jared Bowen after a mix-up by the Chelsea defence. Colwell involved in a terrible mess, and Jared Bowen scores his first goal since Boxing Day on his return to the team, and Graham Potter's West Ham United are in front against Chelsea by 1-0.
What a brilliant finish. Colwell's asking for a foul. I don't think it was. He's saying he got pulled back. But when he played the back pass, whether he was off balance or not, Bowen was aware, he was onto it. The composure, but then the pace of the finish. Was there ever a doubt, really, when he got in?
Well, Palmer and Cucurella now speaking to Konstantin Hatzidakis. He's saying go away.
Now, Colwell's got to be stronger.
Well, the ball came back to...
there's no foul there. Kudus was... He didn't really...
He just played a blind pass, Danny.
The little bit of contact was before he made the pass.
there's absolutely no reason for him to make that pass. Do you know what? He's been panicking a couple of times tonight. When Kudus is in close attention, he panicked earlier on when the ball went over the top and he had a grab at him, and Kudus got a shot on target. He panicked there. He played a blind pass into the middle of the 18-yard box. Didn't see that Jared Bowen was there. No foul whatsoever. The two of them going at it. He's given the ball away cheaply. He knew exactly straight away that he'd made a mistake, and what a finish by Jared Bowen. 1-0 West Ham.
Do you know what? It's not just a brilliant finish. Great awareness and sharpness for someone who's not played for over a month. To keep yourself this... Look how sharp he is. He's back on the edge of his own box. Love it.
And now he's playing little back heels and little flicks and tricks and keeping hold of the ball over on the far side and keeping West Ham in possession. And what a great moment for him. Goal number 7 of the season. Only his second goal in 11 Premier League appearances against Chelsea. And he scored a crucial goal here. And West Ham United, when they take the lead, are pretty good at keeping hold of it. They rarely lose after scoring first. They've lost just one of their last 20 Premier League games. When they've scored the first goal, that was against Tottenham, live on Talksport on October the 19th. And Tottenham needed a goalkeeper to have a very bad day. Alphonse Areola.
Kilman's having a row with... Jackson's not happy about the tackle, but Kilman doesn't think it was a foul. The free kick now about 30 yards, 28 maybe.
Yeah, I mean, this is what, 6, 24, 25, yeah, something like that, 25, 26 yards out from goal, just right of centre, just back from the D. And Cole Palmer is going to try and conjure something before half-time, a response for Chelsea, who, let's be clear, I don't think they've had a shot on target yet, Dan.
No. That finish was a man who is so confident and comfortable in himself.
Yeah.
So aware of his surroundings and his quality, his touch.
Well, the West Ham fans are singing about Andy Irving. They like him. They've made an attachment to him very quickly, I think.
Why is that, do you know? Is it just based on performance?
I think it's just because they've seen him come in and play so well.
Yeah.
And I think he was an under-the-radar signing where people weren't expecting much. And they've watched him and seen his endeavour. And the fact that, as you mentioned earlier, he's very tidy on the ball.
He reminds me of Wharton. A little bit of that type. Nice and elegant.
Ticking over.
Bit better than that, but yeah. Takes it under pressure, likes to play forward when he can, comfortable, glides on the ball.
Always offering an option.
Yeah.
Palmer standing over the free kick, Reece James too. 5-man wall just in front of the 18-yard box, so 28 yards must be right. Here is Palmer into the far corner. What a save by Areola, up towards the postage stamp. He fingertipped it round the post and out for a corner. Palmer's left-footed effort was an absolute peach. It was sneaking right in the corner until Alphonse Areola extended his hand and touched it round the top of the post.
I think that extra few yards meant he had the time to get across because it was right in that top corner. Great free kick from Palmer, brilliant save.
Here's the corner far side as we go into first half injury time. A left-footed delivery in towards the near post, a flick into the air by Tosin, drops for Jackson. There's a bit of chaos inside the box and a claim for handball by Chelsea. But the ball has been cleared by West Ham, and Moises Caicedo's got to be a little bit careful because Kudus is harassing him over on the far side, and didn't he do well?
Do you know what I loved about that? Not just how good the defending was, but Kudus' desire again to get after the ball and try and get there. He's playing with fire in his belly. Love that.
That is an amazing free kick, and it is an even better save. What a fantastic stop from Areola. Here is Cole Palmer trying to get towards the edge of the penalty area. Twisting and turning away from Soler, but not getting the room to get the cross in. He feeds Madueke down the right side of the box. He cuts it back to the wispy figure of Palmer. Palmer, languid and lean, and his blonde hair tightly cropped to the top of his head, plays it out towards the right-hand side, given into Madueke again, goes one side, then the other, then left-footed drives the ball in towards the 6-yard box. West Ham defending deep and trying to get it clear, can't get it away. Give it back to James, edge of the area, right side. His cross is a good one. And Sofau was across to head it away and out towards the far side. But Chelsea come again. 47 minutes gone. We're into the second of three added minutes at the end of the first half. Into the box it comes to the right-hand side. Souček with an overhead kick to get it away. Emerson tries to get it out further away, but Chelsea have got them pinned in here. They're pushing forward. West Ham defending deep, but defending well so far. Palmer edge of the area, gets away from Bowen, moves towards the edge of the box, left-footed straight down the throat of the goalkeeper, who makes another save from Palmer. Certainly not as testing as the free kick, but certainly another effort on goal, and it remains 1-0 West Ham.
What's brilliant, Sam, is when the ball's wide and the no crosses are coming in. Obviously Soufal and Kilman have been great with those aerial defending headers, but Souček drops in, and when he drops in, stands next to Kilman, there's very few people going to out-jump those two. So they're happy with the crosses coming in. It's been really good defending.
Well, so far, it's a happy return to Stamford Bridge for Graham Potter. He and West Ham will be much happier than the Blues, who are getting booed off at half-time after Jared Bowen gave West Ham United the lead in that first half. If it stays like this, it'll be 1 win in 8 games for Chelsea. That's not the sort of form that Chelsea will be comfortable with at all. So there's a bit of work for Enzo Maresca to do at the break. West Ham ahead, Adrian, at half-time for only the 4th time this season in the Premier League. Chelsea 0, West Ham 1.
Yeah, it's an extraordinary thing, the goal. We'll talk about Bowen's brilliant finish and how cool he was in a moment, but I want to know what Levi Colwill was doing. There's words being had with the referee from the Chelsea man on the way off. He feels he was fouled, but ultimately, all right, there's a physical confrontation between him and a West Ham player. There is physicality between them. Can you decide that that's a foul? I'm not so sure. Regardless of whether it's a foul or not, what on earth is he doing, blind, passing it back to the goalkeeper? I don't get it at all.
No, the coming together was just before the pass. He didn't alter his footing or his technique.
It wasn't a foul.
No, well, even if he thought it was, he still then played the pass.
Yeah.
So why did you make the pass? Because you played it blind. You didn't see anyone coming on your weak foot. So it's just that's what players do. He's like many others. If you make a mistake, you're looking for someone to blame.
That's what usually the referee. Yeah.
No, anybody.
Yeah. it's a poor decision.
It's a poor decision
from an England international, really.
I tell you what, if you make we've all done it. You make a bad decision in a game, and you look at the player who's on it, and you think, oh no. Ruthless finish.
As he's passed it to Jared Bowen, it's a great assist. And we were talking about assists earlier. Levi Colwill's got one tonight. You're absolutely spot on. As soon as you see Bowen through, this is the guy who was clean through in the last minute of a European final and buried it to win West Ham that trophy. Any wonder he finished there, but to come back from injury and do it straight away. We talked about him before, Danny. He's a special player, isn't he?
He's grown on me a lot over the last 18 months, I have to be honest. I was a bit at first, and then I say 8 months, probably a couple of years now, he's just got better and better. And the one thing I think he does, he's always been a really good goal scorer, good finisher. Ever since he's broke in, really, at West Ham, he always got goals. You think, oh, good finish now, and always clean, crisp strikes, aren't they? But he's so reliable. Wherever he plays, centre forward or right wing, when the ball goes up to him, he's got strength. And he turns on the ball now, knows when to knock it off and when to keep hold of it. Gets a lot of fouls. I think he's a terrific player. I was actually really surprised in the summer no one came in for him. I really was, genuinely.
I was, and he signed a long-term deal, and I don't know how difficult that would be to get out of if a Champions League side came in for him, or even if he'd want to get out of it, because he seems very happy.
I think he'd want to test himself.
I think so. There's that side of it, but I think family life is important to him as well. Listen, all that's to come, but right now he's back from injury and he's scored a beautiful goal. But this game isn't over, because there's been some last-ditch defending from West Ham United. A brilliant save from Areola from the free kick. Chelsea aren't out of this, are they?
No, I mean, they've shown enough in the first half that they can cause West Ham problems. Although West Ham have defended generally very, very well, they wouldn't want to spend another 45 sat in. Trying to last the 90. They've still got to get up the pitch and try and cause Chelsea problems. And that's what Graham Potter will be saying. He'll be saying, look, don't protect. Of course you're going to protect, but don't just protect. You can cause this team problems. I mean, Kudus has got the beating of Colwell, and Bowen's got the beating of Adebayo. Easy for me to say. Tosin. Yeah. Let's call him Tosin.
Better, yeah.
So I'd be looking, if I was West Ham, as and when to get, because they're leaving them 1-on-1 and 2v2 at times. Okay, that's the way he wants to play. Fine. I've said it before and I'll say it again. At this level, against quality of what they played against City the weekend, and Chelsea are up against with Kudus and Bowen tonight. If you want to go man for man against those, you've got to be really quick and strong. And I'd only be talking about Van Dijk, Saliba, Konate, those types that can go 1v1 with anybody.
Danny, this will be where
not these.
West Ham fans are listening to what you're saying there, and I think this was their big criticism of David Moyes, that in a situation like this, he would basically, in their opinion, their interpretation of it was David Moyes would send them out for the second half. You get banks behind the ball, a bank of one, like 10 players behind the ball, just defend your lead. Whereas, as you've just said, West Ham can cause them problems, force them back. They can maybe even get one-on-one situations. I think their criticism of David Moyes was that he didn't have that in his head. He just wanted to protect the lead.
I think some of that's fair, and some of it was based on the fact that maybe Moisey for a long time at West Ham didn't quite, you could argue, Bowen, but other than that, they didn't have as much quality as this West Ham team's got now. So that would be one aspect. I think also, depending on who you're playing against, sometimes when you play against the top team, you don't really want to protect. You become pinned in because of the quality and the reaction from a good team at times. But this Chelsea team will come out, they will be aggressive, which actually could suit West Ham on the break. The one thing that West Ham fans should be positive about is that if I'm judging West Ham on what I saw last week against Villa, when they went to 1-1, West Ham looked more likely to win it. They went after Villa.
West Ham lead here at Chelsea 1-0 live on Game Night on Talksport, and fair play to the West Ham fans who have been brilliant. They've outsung Chelsea in that first half. There was a song. The songs have been for Andy Irving. You could have a greatest hits of West Ham fans' songs about Andy Irving. You're just a bad Andy Irving to Caicedo, or words to that effect. You've seen the Irving, now head off home was another one. And during the injury break, Irving gives a wave, Irving gives a wave. Basically, it's West Ham fans really supporting a player who's making his first start for West Ham United. Impressive from the West Ham fans. And on the pitch, they've been rewarded as well. Half-time on Game Night on Talksport, it's Chelsea 0, West Ham 1.
Monday Game Night on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Supercharge your odds with our Odds Boost button. Selected markets applies to first £50 of stake. Terms apply. 18+. Gambleaware.org.
We all fantasize about our perfect home. Sipping a morning coffee out on the terrace. Good morning, Mr. Squirrel.
Morning.
The kids building a treehouse in the garden.
I'm living my perfect childhood.
But come on, this isn't real. Listen, if you're serious about making your fantasy a reality, find out what your home is worth instantly with a free online valuation estimate. Get real about moving. Get on the market. Most common time to obtain an online quote between 1st of April 2024 and 30th of June 2024 was under 3 minutes. Excludes Northern Ireland.
Want a day off deciding what to eat? Sit back, relax, and let us do the thinking for you. And the cooking, and the cleaning. From salmon fillet Mondays to fish and chips Fridays. IKEA family members can try a different £3 dish of the day every weekday in store. IKEA, the wonderful everyday. T's and C's and exclusions apply. Find out more at ikea.co.uk.
$1.29 at McDonald's gets you a mini Oreo McFlurry. $1.29 on a big night out gets you...
Sorry, no trainers.
McDonald's Saver Menu. Actually get your money's worth. From 11 a.m. Price and participation may vary. Price varies on delivery. Subject to availability.
You don't just check in to a village hotel. You work out. You jump in. You play on. You tuck in. And drink up. Village Hotels. 33 locations with everything under one roof. A huge gym with pool and great membership opportunities. And a buzzing pub and grill with delicious food, ice-cold beers and live sport. Check out villagehotels.com and work out, stay, meet and play.
Need more workwear? Well, Screwfix now has even more choice with a bigger range, more brands and more sizes. Need more options? Get the perfect fit with shoe sizes from 2.5 up to 16 and clothes sizes from extra small to 4XL. More brands? We've got big names you love like Hunter, Puma and Dickies. Want even more? We've got new wellies, safety wear and workwear from Muck, Timberland Cat and much more. Shop more on the app, online or in-store at Screwfix.
At Betfair, we're about finding different ways to play. Like with our 90-minute guarantee. We've all been there. The clock ticks over into 90 minutes and then a speculative cross into the box ricochets off a knee and goes in, ruining your bet. But with Betfair's 90-minute guarantee, if your bet is winning at 90 minutes or full time, we pay out. Betfair. Play different.
Applies to match odds 90 market or markets with the 90 icon. Sportsbook exclusive. Terms and conditions apply. 18+. BeGambleAware.org.
Monday game night on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Enterprise has vans of all shapes and sizes. So if you've got a plan, we've got a van.
Leave behind the workday blues. More live football on a Monday night.
What a chance, what a goal!
This is Game Night on Talksport.
Got a deadline day update coming up on Talksport with Alex Crook very shortly. Over on Talksport 2 right now, it's Middlesbrough 1, Sunderland 1, Bergsorg's opener for Borough cancelled out by Dan Neil for the Mackhams. Here at Stamford Bridge, it's Chelsea 0, West Ham 1. Let's get the half-time odds with Ladbrokes.
Odds update on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Get money back as a free bet up to £10 if one leg of your Football 5+ acca lets you down. Pre-match straight line accas only. Odds of 3-1 or greater. 18+. GambleAware.org.
Chelsea to win it 11-8. The draw is 23-10, and West Ham to win it is 9-5. Nicholas Jackson, the next goal scorer, was 9-2. Now 5-1. That's the latest odds with Ladbrokes. 18+. BeGambleAware.org.
Odds update on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Supercharge your odds with our Odds Boost button. Selected markets applies to first £50 of stake. Terms apply. 18+. GambleAware.org.
Remember, as soon as this game is done, we'll hand you over to Jim White and Alex Crook and the Posh chairman, Darren McAntony. I was at the Posh game yesterday. Less said, the better. Let's hope some business is done in the last couple of hours of the window because it closes at 11. Alex Crook has got the latest. What you got for us, Alex?
Well, we're still waiting on some of the big deals on deadline day to be confirmed, not least Nicolas Gonzalez from Porto to Manchester City. We reported much earlier today that a £50 million package had been agreed, but that one's still to be rubber stamped. A lot of Tottenham fans may be getting nervous as we head towards 11 o'clock. What's happening with Matthias Tell? Well, I can tell you the delay in his move from Bayern Munich is over the option or lack of in the deal. It's a loan deal, we know that, but Spurs, I think, are looking for something more permanent. We'll keep you posted on that over the next couple of hours. Axel Disasi from Chelsea to Aston Villa. That should go through after Disasi rejected a move to Spurs. And what about this one for a curveball on deadline day? Willian potentially returning to Fulham. That doesn't have to go through before 11 o'clock because he's a free agent, but certainly Fulham in talks with him.
Transfer window breaking news on Talksport with Intuit QuickBooks, the #1 recommended cloud accounting software. Verify at QuickBooks.com.
And of course, Alex will be back with Jim White and Darren McAntony through till the window shutting at 11 o'clock. We'll be straight with them when we're done here at Stamford Bridge. And any more updates during the second half of this game, Chelsea 0, West Ham 1, then we will bring them to you via our commentator Sam Matterpace. But in this second half, Danny Murphy, what exactly have Chelsea got to do? Because they've been attacking with intent, it's just they haven't finished anything off.
I think they just stay patient, don't go hell for leather, keep trying to control possession, sustain attacks. Quality of the crosses have been good actually at times. They've got some really good positions, had some good pullbacks. West Ham defended really well. But if they keep getting the ball into those dangerous areas, they'll feel that something will fall for them. The big key for Chelsea is not so much what they're doing. They are getting in good positions. Something will go for them. It's locking the back door. Because when those transitions happen, they look vulnerable. And they look vulnerable quickly. And I think, for me, I think West Ham will need to score another because they did give up a lot of possession in the latter part of that game, that half. It's going to be, the subs are going to come into effect. When does Graham Potter put some fresh legs on if they're going to defend for their lives? When does Chelsea change? There's so many factors to come in the second half. Ultimately, Chelsea can't lose this game. They can't, because it heaps pressure on them, and they've got a wonderful opportunity to, if it is the top 5 this year rather than the top 4. This squad is capable of getting in that top 5 with the attacking players it's got. So if they lose tonight, all of a sudden the fans start they start becoming disgruntled. They don't want that at this club now.
First half is pretty much Chelsea's season in a nutshell, wasn't it? Because they attacked really well, good on the eye, created some good chances. Cucurella's header, the free kick as well. But it was lapses at the back that provided a lot of entertainment for the neutral.
Yeah, that's true. One thing I haven't seen enough of, and maybe call me old school, but Ronnie Moran used to talk to us at Liverpool about it all the time. 2v1s in wide areas. And we've got inverted wingers now a lot, haven't we? But we very rarely, when we have inverted wingers, see fullbacks going around the outside. I've seen Cucurella on the edge of the box more than I have running behind Sancho, because if he makes runs round Sancho when Sancho's going in, he can use him or to use him as a decoy. Well, Reece James, I keep seeing Reece James put crosses in from inside the width of the 18-yard box. I very rarely see Reece James get round Madueke when he's coming in to get some 2v1s.
It's a great point. Let's see what happens in the second half. Chelsea 0, West Ham 1. Bowen's on fire, and he's in a relationship with Danny Dyer. I think that's the words. Live on Game Night on Talksport. Let's get the second half started. Here's your commentary team of For England midfielder Danny Murphy alongside Sam Matchpace.
Well, at half-time, Chelsea employed a DJ to try and lift the entertainment levels, and I think their approach needs a bit of a remix. You may remember the first game between these two this season.
That was good.
Live on Talksport. Jackson ripped it up, exposing the high line that Lopetegui decided to deploy that day. Slightly better in terms of the way that West Ham are set up today, and Chelsea have got a conundrum to solve in this second half, haven't they? They've got to try and break down this very well organised West Ham United backline.
Absolutely. And if I was Graham Potter, I'd be talking about, I mean, people call it the dark arts, but I'd call it football IQ.
Wan-Bissaka's got to the edge of the area as they come on the attack early on here, and he's picked by Emerson, who hits it just inside the area, and he doesn't catch it properly, but that was a chance. They had space on this near side for Emerson to attack, and they did that. And Emerson, arriving late in the box, getting on the end of a cross from the right-hand side from Wan-Bissaka, could maybe have tested Jorgensen.
Yeah, he had to take it first time. He actually caught it quite sweet, just got under it a bit. But what I was talking about, slowing the game down at times, take your time on goal kicks, throw-ins, and getting free kicks, and not getting lulled into a fast tempo, which is or end-to-end, because that's what Chelsea want. Just keep your shape and take your time on everything. Really try and get these fans frustrated.
Well, Graham Potter may have a point to prove here tonight as well. His reign of 207 days is the shortest of any Chelsea permanent manager in the Premier League era, and there have been a few. His team are leading at half-time. I'll go through the 2-11s for you as the ball goes out of play on the near touchline. Jorgensen is the goalkeeper for Chelsea. Reece James, Adebayo, Colwell, who made the mistake for the goal, and Cucurella the back four. Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo holding in midfield. Palmer in the 10. Madueke at the right side, producing a few decent moments. Sancho yet to create a proper chance yet, playing on the left, and Jackson through the centre. For West Ham, Areola is their goalkeeper. A three at the back for them tonight. Sofau, Kilman and Cresswell. Wan-Bissaka and Emerson the wing-backs. Souček and Irving in the middle. And then the three-pronged attack, Soler, Kudus and Bowen, who scored. Ball into the box on the left-hand side from Sancho, just a little bit over the head of Fernandez, who just used his body to sort of shield it away from Kilman. I think he was hoping that Madueke was going to come in round the back.
Well, he's actually having a pop at Madueke, because that ball in was great from the left-hand side. And when it goes over Fernandez, what he's saying is to Madueke, where are you? So if you play on the right side of a three and the ball's on the left, you've got to be in on the back post. It's basic stuff. You've got to want to score goals. You've got to want to be in the back on the back post, trying to get you a volley or a head or a free tap in. But he was way off. He was on the edge of the box, switching off.
Jim White, Alex Crook, 10 o'clock tonight on your radio, on your TV, on YouTube. Manager reaction and calls on Talksport 2. The Sports Bar, Jamie O'Hara and Jermaine Pennant tonight over on Talksport 2 this evening. So we've got for your full service available for you, a menu of different entertainment possibilities for you tonight on Talksport and Talksport 2. Ball cleared from the left full-back position by Aaron Cresswell of West Ham United. Headed away by Tosin on halfway into midfield. James picks it up, sends it back to Colwell. And crossed by Cucurella into Tosin Adebayo. Waits as West Ham sit off and move back into, again, their very well organised shape of a 5, a narrow 4, and then Bowen at the top of that formation as Chelsea look to attack and try and prise them open. Madueke trying to trick his way down the right side. Can't get past Emerson first time. Across, doubling up is Soler. And then Irving comes across. Soler with a clearance from the left full-back position. Chelsea have got it back. He wanted a foul there, Soler didn't get it. But Caicedo has made a little run and he's found a gap and he's produced a cross into the box, which is well defended by Wan-Bissaka. Comes back out to Palmer. There was a foul by Cucurella. Free kick just on the edge of the D for West Ham United. Still 1-0.
Good defending again. Patient, discipline. I still think it's glaringly obvious that when the ball goes out to Sancho Madueke and West Ham get the 2v1s, that very hard for Sancho Madueke to get through those bodies, and they have to come back out but narrow. I'd love to see Cucurella play as a left back for 10 minutes. Love to see James, like we used to see James.
Go on the overlap.
Yeah, well, he played wing back for, didn't he, under Tuchel at times, and getting forward and whipping in, because he's a wonderful cross through the ball.
Yeah, and we've already seen that actually tonight. 5 minutes gone, second half. Chelsea 0, West Ham United 1. And they're going to make some changes here. I think Mark Guiu is going to come on, and so is Pedro Neto, as they look to try and give some variation to that attacking formation here. Chelsea. Here's Palmer running off the back of Soler and does well to trick his way past him. Feeds it out towards Madueke. Madueke with a chance to run at Emerson. Comes back in field to Palmer. Palmer's going to strike from distance. He's ways out. He's never going to reach it from there. It's blocked by the West Ham defence and shuffled to the far side. Chelsea have got it once again, though. Picked up and played infield by Sancho, given away by Cucurella. Caicedo's lifted it into the path of Kudus. He's squashed by Fernandes, and that's good hold-up play by Kudus to take the pressure off his defence. Free kick.
So difficult to do that, you know. Just be so strong and manipulate the ball into the right way so your body's between you and the player, and that still have the strength to protect it. I find this baffling. 5 minutes, 4.5 minutes into the second half, when you're going to make a couple of substitutions, or at least one we can see, but maybe two for Chelsea. Why not do it at half-time? What could they have done in 4 minutes?
Well, Mark Guiu,
I'll tell you what that does, Sam.
19-year-old Spanish forward is about to come on. 6 goals, but all of them have come in European and Cup competitions so far.
Here we go.
Wan-Bissaka over on the far side. You're just about to tell us what that does. We'll do that in just a second as Sofao sends a cross into the box, aimed towards Soler. He heads it down edge of the area. It comes back to Cresswell, who shoots well over the top of the crossbar from the left angle of the penalty area.
Well, I'd normally say don't shoot from there, but he's technically brilliant, Cresswell. He's capable. Why not? I'll tell you what it does. For the two he's bringing off, unless Jackson's come out to try his injury, that's fair enough. If it isn't
Sancho,
you see, I find that a strange one.
Sancho and Jackson, it is who's coming off. It must be the injury to Jackson, I think.
See, I think you annoy players if you do that. You really do. You get really on their bad side, because why not bring me off half time? What you let me go back out for and give me 4 minutes? Strange, really strange.
Well, Chelsea need to find a way to stop West Ham from winning this match, and they've shuffled their pack going forward. Neto's gone out to the left-hand side. Guiu has gone through the middle.
I've got no problem with shuffling the pack, but what's changed from when they kicked off to 4 minutes later?
Something we might ask Enzo Fernandez, our reporter. Declan McCarthy will be doing those interviews a little bit later on. Here is James on the halfway line, taking the ball forward down the right-hand side, up to Madueke, into James again. So 2 changes already, and he got 8 goals already as Mark Guiu. 6 goals already, Mark Guiu, against Shamrock Rovers, Astana and Noah. Can he get one against West Ham, playing through the middle? Ball over on the right-hand side. Wan-Bissaka is brilliant, careering forward. He sent it back to Kudus, edge of the area. Left-footed cross, which is deep, headed away by James, who arcs his neck, and it's a poor clearance then by Madueke as it drops from the sky. Couldn't feed it through Emerson, but they've given it away again, Chelsea, and Bowen is hunting it, and Chelsea are not getting it clear. Very scrappy from Chelsea. They haven't found their rhythm. West Ham haven't allowed them to find their rhythm. And then Palmer sends the ball over the top, looking for the run of Guiu. And then there was a collision between Irving and Caicedo. Referee's not happy, wants to have a word with both of them, and he wants to sort out a little bit of the shenanigans.
I'm not sure what he stopped the game for and pulled it out for.
I think he thought that Andy Irving gave away a foul in the middle of the park, and he wanted to just stop the proceedings and just get a little bit of control again. But again, it's a surprise.
It was a good counter, wasn't it, from West Ham?
It really was, yeah. And Chelsea couldn't get it clear. They looked a little bit chaotic at the back.
Yeah,
Sunderland have gone 2-1 up away at Middlesbrough, and a win for Sunderland would see them stretch their lead in 5th position what their lead from 5th position Blackburn to 13 points. They're having a really good season under Regis Lebris. And I think they've kept hold of Tommy Watson today as well. I know that Brighton was sniffing around him earlier on today. Here is Madueke, who's running in. Oh dear, the referee stopped it for a push.
No, it was a pull. Fernandez was saying or maybe it was a push, pull in. Soler ended up calm. He looked like it was an obvious foul, but don't know, can't see it on the replay.
Well, interesting to see how Chelsea get themselves out of this hole. Do you know, Graham Potter is the 9th former Chelsea manager to come back to Stamford Bridge for a Premier League game.
Nobody's won.
None of them have ever won. Amazing statistic.
The great thing about those stats is someone's always going to break it.
Of course. Will it be Graham Potter tonight?
So far so good for him, he'll be well pleased.
Is Potter going to break the spell? 55 minutes gone. Chelsea 0, West Ham 1. Forward by Cresswell, out towards the left-hand side. It goes floating harmlessly out for a throw into Chelsea in the right full-back position. There needs to be a bit more urgency about Chelsea as well, Danny, doesn't there? There's a little bit of a lack of tempo about them tonight. You know, when they're getting... Oh, dear, they're playing the ball through.
At times, yeah, I think it's been reasonable. But, yeah, I think they do get lulled into keeping it too often, too long. But that's partly as well because some of them don't have the courage that Palmer's got to make mistakes. They're all a bit safe.
Well, they're making a few mistakes at the moment. They're giving the ball away over on the far side. Kudus in from...
Well played.
Andy Irving, and then taken by Cresswell down into the left corner, looking for Emerson, who's taken it out of the sky but couldn't get it under control. And West Ham are quite happy just to keep the ball up out of their own half and in the Chelsea half at the moment, as far away from their goal as possible, because Chelsea are trailing here by a 1-0, live on Talksport. Premier League football every time there's a Monday night game, right here with Danny Murphy and I and Adrian Durham. Here is James, forward to Guiu, into Fernandez. He's halfway up inside opposition territory in the right corridor. He plays it wide to Madueke. Again, slows it down, comes in field, gives it to James. He has to wait because West Ham are getting back into shape. Then they go centrally. Tosin out towards the left. And then it's with Palmer. Palmer back into the centre circle. Tosin again. Forward towards the right, and James takes a couple of steps forward, tries a Hollywood pass, is blocked by Bowen, and now Soler trying to get away down his left-hand side. He's going to outpace James, and he's going to get in front of James. He's being dragged back by James. He's kept it brilliantly, and he's played it back into Irving, and he's kept hold of the ball well. Now he's drawn the foul from Caicedo. That's terrific from Soler. James is going to get a yellow card because he tried to pull him back initially, and Chelsea flummoxed.
Soler's given a bit to the West Ham fans to get them going a bit. It's a little bit premature to start doing that, wind the Chelsea players and fans up, to be honest with you. Great run from him though, showed a burst of pace, bit of desire to get there before James.
That was excellent, I thought. Really good from...
I mean, this West Ham performance and the one last week we talked about against Villa,
it's been really good.
Well, it's not, but in terms of where they were at a month ago, 6 weeks ago when I watched them play. Yeah. Some of their performances under Lopetegui were lethargic, chaotic, all over the place, lacking confidence.
This is organised, intense, coordinated. There's a desire about them. And they're leading by a 0-0. Here is the free kick by Cresswell, and he spotted Jurgensen off his line, and there was a bit of a panic up. Two lads in gilets and hats away to our left-hand side just got up shaking their heads, thinking, crikey, that nearly went in. Well, he got almost caught out there because he left a big gap to his right-hand side. Cresswell spotted it, went for it.
What a header.
Didn't quite get there, but caused a bit of panic inside this stadium. That header that Danny was talking about, a long ball by Chelsea upfield, flicked away by Wan-Bissaka, but he did it and put it in an area where there wasn't a Chelsea player, and now he's helped out offensively and found Bowen into the box right side. His cross is blocked by Tosin, but he's worked so hard to win it back. He's ended up with Tosin on the floor, got it onto his left foot, put it into Soler, got it back, tried a shot, it's blocked by Caicedo, still not clear. West Ham still coming forward. Chelsea can't get it out of their box. It's back in again by Souček, and Wan-Bissaka is still up there, gets it onto his right foot, produces a cross, it's headed away by Colwell, comes out into midfield, and then Chelsea eventually just hammer it out on this near side with James because they want to escape. Now Madueke skips past the challenge of Souček, plays it forward into Palmer. Chelsea on the attack now after weathering a West Ham storm. Oh, the referee's fallen over. Cole Palmer has tied him into knots. KU down the left-hand side. Neto tries to get the cross in. It's blocked by Soucek. It's out on the far side. Cole Palmer dancing so much around the referee that the referee fell over.
I tell you what, West Ham are unlucky, by the way. How well did Bowen do? Good defending in the end from Chelsea, but a let-off really. They got great numbers forward. He was scrambling about. Bowen won it back, nearly got his shot away.
The referee stretching out his hamstrings. He can't believe it. Tosin shoots from distance and fires it over the top of the crossbar. I tell you what, the Chelsea fans are getting frustrated. 1 win in 7. They need a good result tonight.
Doesn't take much for them to turn, does it?
Well, that's a little bit unfair.
Well, I'm just being honest.
Malagusto's coming on for Reece James and Nkunku coming on for Madueke as Chelsea make 2 more changes. And we've got about half an hour to go. Madueke off, Nkunku on, James off, Gusto on. What difference can those 2 players make?
Well, I mean, James only recently got back to full fitness, so Gusto, we know he's a flying machine. He'll give him some energy and pace with Neto down the right side. And Nkunku's a clever player. He's got good feet, manipulates the ball well, good finisher. Probably had more of a goal threat.
Well, he's scored goals, but 13 of them this season, but a lot of those have come in the European competition. Christopher Nkunku, who was linked actually yesterday and early part of today with a move away from the club. Bayern have been sniffing around, Manchester United have been sniffing around too, just seeing whether or not there was a deal to be done. He stayed at Chelsea, and he will do now at least until the end of the season. Chelsea haven't really utilised him very often, preferring Jackson as the out-and-out striker. And here he is on the ball. He plays a little bit deeper than a main striker, doesn't he? He's going to play off the left-hand side now, with Neto playing off the right. Here is Gusto, right side for Chelsea. 1-0 to West Ham. 62 minutes on the clock. It's Neto cutting in from the right side, middle of the West Ham half. All the football being played in front of West Ham at the moment. Out towards Nkunku again. A dart by Neto from the centre out to the left isn't spotted, and Chelsea come back the other way into Gusto, who squeezes it into the path of Palmer. Palmer faces up the defender, produces a cross looking for Nkunku, but it's too heavy. He'll go over his head and out of play for a goal kick away to our right, and it remains 1-0 to West Ham.
The problem is, Sam, it's not just in front of them, but it's generally within the width of the 18-yard box. We don't really get high and wide very often. Both wingers are, when they started the game, I know they've changed now, but both even still on the pitch now, got a left footer on the right and a right footer on the left. So that means they want to come in, and they're crossing it from narrow and deep. You need width and higher, because West Ham have got giants in the middle and they're eating it up.
Why do managers, and there is a trend, isn't it, love to have inverted wingers?
Well, because end product can be better, because they're finishing, coming inside and being nearer the goal on the stronger foot rather than just worrying about crosses. Depends on the system, but it doesn't really matter so much if you've got width from fullbacks, if they're going in. I don't understand. I mean, Cucurella's now actually playing as a left back. He's really high and wide left, which is a little difference, maybe because Nkunku's come on. And that's what they've talked about, which is good to see, because Cucurella playing centre forward or centre midfield doesn't really help him.
2-2 over on Talksport 2. What a game, Middlesbrough against Sunderland. 1-0 here to West Ham on Talksport with Sky Sports. Don't forget that you can stream the biggest Premier League games live on Sky Sports without a contract with Now, including Chelsea West Ham live right now.
It's a foul.
Sports. Colwell's just pushed Bowen in the back. The referee didn't see it. And he's still give him a little break. He might have a concussion, the ref, after that little trip that he had. Here is Gusto on the near side into Neto, into the right wing position. He tries to face up, gets it onto his left foot, cuts back in. Lovely cross, comes through to Geu, back from Cucurella. Fernandes is there, strikes it. Neto into the corner, and Chelsea follow up and they're level. Pedro Neto scores for Chelsea. It's only his 4th goal since joining from Wolves. And it was about sheer persistence. A lovely ball in from Neto from this right side, cutting in on his left foot. It was a dangerous ball that floated to the far post. Cucurella got it back to Fernandes. His strike blocked on the line, came back out to Pedro Neto, who slammed it through the goalkeeper and in 1-1.
That was a brilliant cross from Neto. It's actually one of the best crosses we've seen in the evening. From a higher position on that right side, whipped it in, caused all sorts of problems, and then the great thing about the goal is he's followed it in and ended up getting the rebound and putting it in. Defended the first bit well, West Ham, but...
Chelsea now nervous because they're checking for a possible offside. Now, the key thing here is, did Guiu get a touch on the initial cross as it went to Cucurella? Because Cucurella went beyond him, and if he was in an offside position when he nudged it back to Enzo Fernandez, that goal's going to be chalked off. I'm not entirely sure that the supporters that are very close to us are too happy about the VAR. Therefore, I do apologise if any industrial language has crept through our microphones. I say crept. I think they've been bellowed down our effects mic. So, apologies if you have spat out your chips.
Well, I think there's two aspects, and you said, well, there's Guehi, the centre forward. It's a great ball in. I think Cucurella's offside.
If Guiu gets a header on it.
He does. I'm pretty sure he does.
So from the left-hand side, the ball's picked up by Neto, cuts in left-footed. He swings the ball in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Guiu touches it with his head, and Cucurella is in an offside position then.
I think it's going to be off.
If he left it, Guiu, it would have gone straight through to Cucurella anyway. But it's about whether or not he gets a touch. And we're a bit unfortunate here. We do not have replays in the traditional sense. What we have is, and do you know what? I don't know if he does touch. Does he touch it? Do you know what? There's got to be clear evidence here, and there's not exactly. They're putting two stills together to see whether or not there's clear evidence that he's actually touched it. I'm not sure that he has. And it's taken a very, very long time.
Looked like he touched it to me.
Okay, well, you know, it's the VAR who has to make that decision. Michael Salisbury, he has to decide that there is clear evidence that that ball has been contacted by Mark Guiu. It doesn't change the flight of the ball. That's the issue here. So if he has touched it, it's the tiniest of touches. But that tiny touch will decide whether or not this goal is given or not. So what happens? Goal. No clear evidence to overturn it. There'll be a few West Ham fans, the eyes will be raised to the heavens as a result there, but no offside offence against Cucurella is the decision, and it is 1-1.
Looked like a touch to me, but if they're not sure, they're not sure. Got to get on with it. See how they respond, West Ham. Whoa!
Well, they're going to be in trouble here, Chelsea, because that's going to be a yellow card for Enzo Fernandez, who's completely misjudged his challenge. Late, went in on Andy Irvine, and then complaining about it. Palmer, I think, has got a yellow card as well.
Do you know what, though? Let's give Andy Irvine some credit there. Look at it, he's just got up. Not stitched the opposition player up. You'd have other players, we'd hear them scream from up here.
So just having a look now at the replay again, there'll be a few West Ham officials and supporters who will believe that there was a touch there. Well, we shall see what Graham Potter says in the aftermath. I'm going to guess he says, well, I haven't seen it. But if the referee and the officials have decided it's a goal, then we'll stick with that.
He's generally pretty good like that,
he's
Graham
quite
Potter.
mild-mannered,
He
isn't
doesn't blame other people, he just gets on.
Well, let's see how West Ham get on with it now.
They've actually started well, second half. They've done well.
Here is Soler with a free kick into the box, headed down towards Kudus by Bowen. He's got his back to goal, but he's turned and faced up that goal, got a shot which has taken a deflection and bobbled over the top and gone out for a corner for West Ham United. And it is 1-1 on Talksport. Over on Talksport 2, Middlesbrough 2, Sunderland 2. West Bromwich Albion goalkeeper Alex Palmer signed a 3.5-year deal at Ipswich Town.
They've already got two keepers, haven't they?
Yeah, but Wharton's injured.
Okay.
And Muric has made a few errors recently. And I think they've decided that he's very highly rated, is Alex Palmer. And the West Bromwich Albion goalkeeper has gone to Ipswich. And that big news, Axel Disasi leaving Chelsea to go to Aston Villa, that we brought you exclusively live on Talksport. Jim White and Alex Crook from 10 o'clock this evening. Here is Cresswell away to our left-hand side. Deadline day February 2025. Cresswell in towards the near post, and Bowen flashed across that near post again and almost got there. Guiu trying to bring the ball out of defence. He should have played it into Neto. Went infield to Palmer instead. Thought that he was fouled. Referee said, get up, you're not getting one. Here is Andy Irving in towards the path of...
Great ball.
In towards the back post, and then Kudus is there. He's hit the post with a header. Well, he sent it down to Emerson, got it back, and then he produced a delicious cross. It was an absolute arcing beauty from the boot of Irving towards the far edge of the 6-yard box, and Kudus came in, headed the ball goalwards. It hit the meat of the post and came back out. What a chance.
He's not going to get a better chance than that tonight. It's a brilliant ball in from Irving, nice and measured, bending in from that left-hand side. He gets down, so it heads it against the post, but he's got to score. It's not a difficult chance.
Oh, what an opportunity for West Ham to retake the lead with 20 minutes to go here at Stamford Bridge. What a delicious, beautiful ball that was.
Yeah, delicious is a great word. So inviting, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I thought Kudus did the right thing. He got down ready to head it instead of trying an elaborate volley. But he just skidded off his head and hit the post. He should have just bang, right back which way it was coming.
1-1. All to play for at Stamford Bridge with 20 minutes to go. It hasn't had the blood and thunder of a London derby. Not like the old days. Not yet anyway. But it might just spice up now as Fernandes goes down the right side. Across comes Emerson. Fernandes goes across. It's hit against him by Emerson, and it goes out for a goal kick away to our right-hand side. Remember, Wednesday night we have got live commentary from St James's Park. Newcastle take on Arsenal in the Carabao Cup semi-final. Arsenal trying to fight back from 2-0 down. Liverpool against Tottenham. Liverpool looking to fight back from 1-0 down on Thursday night. Those Carabao Cup semi-finals, Wednesday and Thursday night. Friday night, Manchester United against Leicester. The first of 11 commentaries from the FA Cup this weekend in the FA Cup fourth round. Scarles comes on for Sofal. Emerson replaced by Mavropanos. Actually, what will happen here is Mavropanos will go into Sofal's position on the right side of the defence, and Scarles will go into the left wing-back role here, Danny.
Yeah, both looking a bit leggy. Good decision that from Graham Potter. Good early spot. You could see that was Emerson in his recovery just there.
Ollie Scarles, who actually under Graham Potter has had quite a bit of football in comparison to the amount of football that he got under the previous manager. And he looks a bit of a talent. Here is Neto on the right side for Chelsea, whose goal has levelled things up here at Stamford Bridge. Cuts in on his left foot, being harassed by Soler. Didn't release it quick enough and he's given it away. Bowen's got it forward. Soler's giving it back to Chelsea. Caicedo just in front of the centre circle finds Nkunku. Nkunku back to Caicedo. Wide it goes towards Gusto now. Through the legs of Fernandes to get there. Gusto's ball is poor. Goes straight out of play over on the far side.
Do you know what? There's so many, it's such small margins in football between a really good result that gives everyone a good feeling and a bad one. You know, West Ham have been terrific tonight in lots of ways. Just created a great chance after going back, conceding and getting disappointment of a VAR decision. 1-1, get themselves up the other end, create a great little play. If they don't, they haven't scored, and if they don't go on to get anything out of this game and Chelsea win it late on, the disappointment will be huge. And actually, you're talking, 3 inches and going 2-1 up away at Chelsea with 15 minutes to go.
Given away by Irving here, and it's picked off by Neto halfway line. He's charging forward for the Blues. Space over on the far side for Nkunku. And Chelsea's record in London derbies has been pretty good recently. West Ham's is pretty poor. And Chelsea coming forward here, looking to try and go in front for the first time on the night. Gusto, right side, tries to squeeze it into the path of Neto. Neto down the right wing, looking to take on Scarles. Infield it goes to Gusto. Gusto with a chance to cross left-footed. It's a deep one. Nkunku coming in underneath it. Cucurella's going to keep it alive. Guiu's not going to get there, but Cole Palmer's picked it up edge of the area. Cut back in on his right foot, tried to shot. There was 3 West Ham players immediately crowding him and stopping him from getting away. And now the counter-attack is on, but 2 West Ham players got in each other's way. Bowen still emerged with the ball. Then he's given it back to Neto, and Neto's got away from Scarles, who's ended up on the floor. And there's space to get across in here. He hits it right-footed. It's over the top of everybody, including the goalkeeper, and then Cucurella has to keep it alive on the other side. Bit of room for Palmer to get into the box here on the left side of the area. Goes towards the byline, takes a deflection and Chelsea are in front. Cole Palmer drives his Chelsea's crossed through the box. It took a deflection and looped over Areola. And 5 minutes ago, Chelsea were 1-0 down. Now they're 2-1 up. No surprise that their creative genius Cole Palmer was involved. They just gave him a little bit of room down the left side of the box and he exploited it to the full. Chelsea 2, West Ham 1.
Well, Scholes and Irving got in each other's way and gave the ball away and got them back left them under pressure again. Palmer gets down that left-hand side. Oh, that's so unlucky for Wan-Bissaka. He's just tried to smash it across. Big deflection from Wan-Bissaka. It's looped over the goalkeeper. Just bad luck. Oh dear. Well, that's the bit of luck I'm talking about. They're the moments. Whole perception changes from the fans, media narrative, all based on tiny little details in a game.
Well, that was unfortunate. And they'll look back at that opening goal from Chelsea as well and complain that it should not have stood. And now Chelsea are on the march and they've got the bit between their teeth. And over on that far side, Irving has dragged down Cole Palmer. It's a yellow card for Andy Irving. And a free kick as well. And they've just got to make sure now that whatever happens, they don't lose their head.
No, it's a good foul. I mean, he's been brilliant. He's been really good, but he's looking a bit leggy. Bowen's hardly played, so he's going to be a bit leggy. Kudus has worked tirelessly. Can they find the energy to get back in?
Graham Potter just about to bring on Danny Ings. Billy Reid, one of his coaching staff, and Bruno Salter, all of which were here at one stage when Potter was in charge, just trying to calm the players down, because I think one or two of them are just getting a little bit egged up. There's a problem here for Aaron Cresswell, who's down inside the penalty area. I think it's
Andy Irving, isn't it?
Or is it Andy Irving who's down inside the area, just holding on to his left leg?
I think it is.
Yeah, it is. It's Andy Irving, who's just got back up slowly.
It's not very often you're right and I'm wrong, is it, to be honest?
You know, good spot from you. I was doing other things, but don't worry.
What else was you doing?
Well, some of us have got to organise all of this transfer stuff and breaking news that's coming in.
All right, I'll let you off. It is deadline day.
It's deadline day. We're busy here, you know. Not as busy as Alex Crook and Jim White, as they will be at 10 o'clock tonight. Make sure you join them straight after we've finished here. Danny Ings is on, Irving is off, Soler is off, and on comes Lewis Orford for West Ham United. And Lewis Orford coming on, given his Premier League debut off the bench against Palace. He's only played 34 minutes for the first team. Chelsea have a free kick wide on the far side, a yard in from the touchline. There are 4 blue shirts behind the West Ham line, which is situated just in front of the penalty spot. So it's a wide delivery from the right foot over on the far side. Enzo Fernandez will take it in towards the near post. It's flicked on and it's a save by Areola. Would have been another own goal, that. Here is Neto into Gusto towards Colwell's header, goes straight out of play and away for what is going to be a goal kick. And Tosin actually saying he thinks it came off a West Ham body last. Might have had a point. And that was almost a second goal from a deflection for Chelsea.
Yeah, they have put some good balls in, Chelsea. They've got in some good positions. They've had a bit of luck. You need a bit of luck when you're on a bad run, and they've had it tonight.
Oh, especially when you're on a bad run.
Yep.
Chelsea didn't play well in that first half. And
they've not been brilliant, but if they get over the line, they won't care. But they have needed a little bit of fortune, and obviously Kudus missing that chance, because I think if he scores that chance at 2-1 just after they got back in, it deflates everybody in the stadium, and the players then look at the clock and go, oh, 18 minutes, 19 minutes left, we've got to try and go again.
And conversely,
really difficult.
The deflected goal which puts Chelsea in front, having been 1-0 up just 10 minutes before that, really deflates West Ham United.
Yeah, it's really hard now, especially when you've got Bowen. I mean, he still looks great, actually, but he hasn't played. Kudus has just worked tirelessly. They've put in a really good shift.
Crikey, Mavropanos from that free kick, by the way, nearly scored an own goal. I think that was his first touch. Here is Nkunku over on the far side, playing infield towards Caicedo. Caicedo then looking to steer it forward into a pocket of space for Palmer, who gets his shot towards the near post, and it's hit the side netting. Well, there was some on this side of the ground that thought that had gone in.
Great effort.
He only had a little bit of wiggle room, but he only needed just a millimetre to get that out of his feet, and with his left foot from the edge of the D to try and arc that into the corner. So close.
Because he's got such a lovely touch and awareness. When the game goes on and on, you get tired. So you just switch off for a second. See how he runs off the back? I think it's of Ings there, but his touch is always so spot on. It gives himself the time to get the shot off. And when you've got tired legs playing against someone so clever, it can be really difficult.
Chelsea 2, West Ham 1, and for the latest odds you can head to Ladbrokes, but right now you can get Chelsea to win the game at 11-1 on, and West Ham to win the match 40-1. The draw is 7-1. It's all thanks to Ladbrokes. 18+. BeGambleAware.org. Still 2-2 over on Talksport 2 between Middlesbrough and Sunderland at the top of the Championship. Here it's 2-1 to Chelsea, who are going into the top 4 if it stays like this. They're going to win 3 in a row against West Ham for the first time in 14 years. Here is Cucurella over on the far side. Into the air it goes. Drops for Nkunku's touch wasn't great. Cut out by Mavropanos, and then Kilman to Cresswell, who clips it near side. Scholes takes it down. Ollie Scholes taking it away from Neto, getting it back to the halfway line.
Good ball.
In towards Ings, tries to hold it up. Scholes gets it back again. Into Lewis Orford. Orford through the centre circle. West Ham in possession just over halfway. Mavropanos springs the ball out, chips it forward, looks for Scholes near side. He cuts in field. He was offside when he did so. Going to be a free kick to Chelsea in the right full-back position. Chelsea have got a couple of weeks on the road now before they play Southampton here. They need a positive result after one win in 7. Dating back to the weekend before Christmas, they've got back-to-back trips to Brighton coming up in the FA Cup and the League. Then they go to Aston Villa away, and then Southampton and Leicester at home back-to-back here before heading to the Emirates to take on Arsenal.
There's 2 good home games for them, but those away games are tough. Although Brighton are having a tough spell at the minute.
Yep, they lost 7-0 at the weekend, but I wouldn't back against them bouncing back against Chelsea. And Chelsea just still, even if they win tonight, you know, they've got a bit of work to do to refine their rhythm from the early part of the season, I think. Gayu made a good run in down that right channel, looking for the ball from Fernandes. It was cut out well by Orford. It's away for a throw-in on the near side. 9.5 minutes to go. Jamie O'Hara is with Jermaine Pennant tonight on the Sports Bar. It's over on Talksport 2. You'll be able to have your say. 03717 2233 You driving home tonight?
Yes. Will you be listening to Talksport 1 or Talksport 2?
I was going to ask you that question.
Here we go.
Shall we split the audience? Do you want to do one and I'll do the other? Here is Kudus in towards the edge of the penalty.
What a run.
Lovely little mazy dribble. Gets it onto his left foot. Stopped by Caicedo, who cuts across him and gets it back into the arms of Jurgensen.
He deserves a goal. He's been really good. Deserves a goal. Well, I know you're not going to listen to either because you're going to the pub. Scandalous.
I'm only going to the pub for one, and it's a networking event. I'm going to see Jason Cundy and Scott Minto. And then I'm going to be listening to Alex Crook and Jim White on the headphones on the way home. Or the way home, the way back to the hotel.
What you're saying is you have to get drunk to listen to them too.
Not at all. I listened to Crook most of my life, to be honest.
Oh, that's true.
Here is here is Gusto in towards the edge of the centre circle. And then Palmer forward to Nkunku. Nkunku out to the left where it's collected by Cucurella, moving up towards the edge of the penalty area. And then into Palmer. Palmer with his back to goal, slowing it down, knowing that if Chelsea see this out, the job will be done for the night. And although it won't be perfect, it will be complete. And their mission that they were set to go back into the top 4 would have been accomplished. But there is still 7 minutes plus added time. No pressure on the ball from West Ham United. Chelsea comfortable enough to be able to play it around at the back. Here is Gusto. Graham Potter wants a bit more pressure on the ball, and he's on the edge of his technical area and moving it up now, and they're starting to engage a bit more, and Jurgensen sends it long down the left-hand side towards Gayu. Gayu is under pressure, but Cucurella looks as if he's fouled. The referee's given the free kick just in from the far touchline.
I think he guessed. I don't think he could see through the bodies because I'm in the same line. To be fair, Wan-Bissaka hasn't been too disturbed by the decision, so maybe he's got it right, but there's a lot of bodies in the way for him to get that decision right.
And far be it for me to say that you've got it wrong and Stuart Atwell's got it right.
No, but I didn't say that.
He was 5 yards away. So he's probably got a better view.
Probably, yeah.
Probably. Just probably. I'm only being playful. Free kick just in from the touchline left-hand side.
I'm not sure I like your playful side.
Yes, you do. Here is Palmer. On to Caicedo. And then back to Gusto once again. Neto takes it on down the right side of the penalty area. Tries to get to the byline. The cross is blocked by Skulls, and it spirals up and goes into the Matthew Harding end. He's a good little player, I think. Ollie Skulls.
To be fair, he looks a decent size, but I haven't seen him in person, so maybe you know more, but he looks comfortable physically.
Yeah, he played in the first game under Graham Potter in the FA Cup game away at Aston Villa. And,
okay, yeah, he did. Yeah, I didn't see it, but West Ham have just got to find that one chance. They've got to find the energy to get that one chance, because they're going to have another 10 minutes, probably 9 minutes at least.
Well, they're going to bring on Luis Guilherme, who is making his 50th senior appearance for both Palmeiras and West Ham combined. He was the first signing under Julian Lopetegui. He's a Brazilian under-20 international. They haven't seen much of him since he arrived, but there's no better time to make an impact than in a London derby when you are 2-1 down. Palmer to take the corner kick. He's taking an age over it. There'll be a left-footed corner kick in front of the Matthew Harding end. Gusto goes short, then arcs his run back. It's Palmer's delivery, back post. It's dropped inside the area after Tosin's header. Comes back to Enzo Fernandez. Couldn't get it under control, but he's lopped it up over towards the right side where Palmer's got it again. A chance to get another cross in. He does. In towards Nkunku. Away by Mavropanos. Drops for Neto inside the box. Right-footed flash shot. Cannons off a defender. And again, Gusto keeps it alive when Kudus just looks a little bit tired there as he attempted to get it clear. And Chelsea have got it back again. Bit misshapen here, West Ham. Can Chelsea take advantage? Lovely bit of skill by Palmer. Then tries to play it through a tight gap. Doesn't quite work, but Fernandez has swept it wide. On to Neto. Neto cutting it on his left foot, then teasing and coming back on his right. And then again he steps over the ball. Gives it to Fernandez. Then back to Neto once more. Chelsea holding it near touchline. 4 minutes to go, leading by 2-1. Tosin. Edge of the centre circle. And then it goes out towards the left-hand side, and Cucurella and Chelsea with a little bit of nous here and game management, because there is two ends of the spectrum. You know, the average second oldest 11 in West Ham against the youngest average 11 in Chelsea. And I think Chelsea have been accused of being, and have shown, a little bit of naivety at times over the course of the season, but they're just managing the last few minutes out here. A little change here for West Ham. We're going to go to a back four, take off Cresswell, bring on Guilherme, as they look to try and drag themselves back level in this game. That's their fifth and final substitution. Neto whacks it forward. Guilherme will chase. Out comes Oriola, and he'll just wait for that to drop into the box, and they'll bowl it out to the far side. 87 on the clock, 3 to go. Risky pass from Souček.
Great take.
Brilliantly taken by Wan-Bissaka. He canters upfield, feeds Guilherme over on that right-hand side. He gets into the box, and then Palmer, getting back to do his dirty work, nicks the ball, uses his body.
Lost it.
Gives it away again, and Guilherme's produced across towards the far post. Danny Ings with a header down. Bowen tries to get there. Across comes Enzo Fernandez, and just about manages to nudge it clear. Out wide towards the right. Neto's got to hold on to it here. Skulls comes across. Neto draws the foul. Referee gives it. Danny's not convinced.
Not a foul. He has been a bit whistle happy, to be fair. Feels that way anyway.
Do you think he's trying to make up for the fact that he fell over?
I just think some refs are better at letting the game go than others. I'm not saying you should let every foul go, that's a foul, but sometimes they're just so innocuous.
You want the rhythm. You want the flow, the tempo of the game.
Rhythm's going to get you, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Rhythm is the dancer. You're listening to Chelsea 2, West Ham 1 on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car, whatever the mission, home or away. Enterprise helps over 120,000 people every day. Goal late on. Sunderland back in front over on Talksport 2. 3-2. Giles' own goal. Last few minutes. Well, Sickner. Is there going to be a late goal here? Nkunku dropping deep. Then back out to Enzo Fernandez. Into Nkunku again. Gusto's got his hair tied back in a ponytail tonight. Plays it back to Fernandez. Down the touchline it goes to Neto. Pretty sure that Neto got the final touch on that. So is Oliver Skulls. But the ball is given to Chelsea. Off comes Cole Palmer. And on comes Trevor Chalobah as they look to just tighten things up at the very end here. Standing ovation for Cole Palmer. He's often the match winner. He's often the man that turns the tide in their favour.
Well, it was an own goal, wasn't it, to be fair? But he has been brilliant. But he's been their... Well, I say brilliant. He's been their best player. Neto's made a difference, but he's been the one. Yeah. Probing and doing the bits of magic, getting on the ball, risking losing it. Trying to get his team going when they were losing.
Yeah, I think it is going to go down as a Wan-Bissaka own goal because the cross from Palmer wasn't on target.
No.
And it was heavily deflected by the former Manchester United man. He's a little bit unfortunate, I think. Here is Gusto speeding away from Orford, getting to the edge of the area, feeding in Nkunku. Cucurella on the far side. Poor pass by Nkunku.
No, it wasn't a poor pass.
What, you reckon it was a good intervention?
Brilliantly read. The pass was there when he looked up, and then it wasn't when because Wan-Bissaka, they only had two options: shoot or pass. He got a moan from being unselfish. If he'd have shot and missed, they'd have been moaning they didn't pass it.
Wan-Bissaka over on the far side, onto Guillaume, who tries to take on Cucurella. He goes one way, then the other, then gets the cross in. It bounces off the Brazilian last and goes behind and away for a goal kick away to our left-hand side, and it remains 2-1 to Chelsea. In the final few seconds of the game here. Remember, the Sports Bar is on Talksport 2 and Jim and Alex are on Talksport when we finish here, which will be in 7 minutes time. 7 minutes of added time at the end of the 90. You surprised by that?
I haven't kept a stopwatch, to be honest, Sam, so I couldn't tell you.
Goal kick.
Been a lot of subs, hasn't there?
Yep, 10.
What is it, 30 seconds per sub?
Yep, that's 5 minutes. Plus 2 goals. Probably just about right then. It's encouragement for West Ham, isn't it? 7 minutes. Can they go for it? Can they get an equaliser late on here? We've seen a lot of late goals, and Chelsea have thrown things away before. You know, they're rubbish at holding on to leads, Danny. When you look back, especially over the last 6 games, there might be a bit of nervousness.
Absolutely. I mean, you just got to try and find the energy and that little bit of composure and quality late in the game when your legs are tired and you've got to get up that pitch and risk conceding another. But why not?
Chelsea have dropped 10 points from winning positions in the last 6 games alone. So are they going to do the same here tonight?
It's a foul.
Foul in midfield on
Get the big boys up.
And a free kick to West Ham.
Oh no, what are you doing?
Taking it short.
Why would you do that?
Mavropanos out to Wan-Bissaka. Moves up towards the edge of the area. He's got Guillaume going on the outside. He's given it straight to Nkunku, who now looks to race away. He plays it left to Caicedo. Caicedo charges up towards the halfway line. Feeds it back towards Nkunku. Nkunku keeping hold of the ball well. The Chelsea fans want him to continue, but he's just trying to manage the last few minutes out and keep hold of it. And now Caicedo's got it down in the left corner. Nkunku continues his run, gets it back, tries to help it on to Gusto. Swept away by Ings. Chelsea are going to get hold of it again, and Tosin just saying calm it down. The Chelsea fans want them to go gung-ho. They want them to
He's got to come out, the young boy there, the left wing-back. Scarlett has got to come out.
Neto's beaten him for pace on the outside. He's got into the penalty area. Scarles has timed his intervention well. It's one back by Guillaume. Then on to Gusto. Sets it back for Cucurella, who didn't see Guillaume coming in his wing mirrors. And then Kudus, looking to escape, is beaten to it by Neto, who actually has done very well since coming off the bench, Danik.
Really good. Like he's got a point to prove. Exactly what you want from your subs.
Here he is again, travelling down the touchline, looking at Scarles. Scarles standing off him a little bit, allowing him to come in field, and then tries to go on the outside of Scarles. He goes back towards Enzo Fernandez. And Chelsea go back to halfway. 93 minutes on the clock. Chelsea 2, West Ham 1. Talksport, Middlesbrough 2, Sunderland 3. That's on Talksport 2. And remember tonight, the Sports Bar is on 2. And Jim and Alex take you through the deadline on Talksport on the Talksport YouTube channel.
So Potter's asking his players to squeeze up, and it's, you so want to see it even here sat in the stand, but I can tell you, when you've worked as hard as they have, and you've put into it, it's so hard to get yourself just to get to the ball. You know, you're running on empty at times.
Guillaume challenging Scarles for the ball, and he beats him. Gets it, sets it back for Neto, edge of the area, drives into the box, down the right side, pulls it back. Guillaume's falling over, does the splits, and he might have hurt himself there. He might have done his groin or his hamstring, you know. because he sort of lost his footing.
He's got to pass it.
He's in a real problem. And here at the other end, Guillaume has got the ball out towards the right-hand side. Bowen into the box, sets it back. Guillaume tries to shoot. Kudus hits it straight against the defender. It's blocked by Tosin Adarabioyo. And it's a perfect stop for Chelsea that stops a certain equaliser. Guillaume is down inside the penalty area. Chelsea play on with Nkunku. Nkunku takes it up towards the 18-yard box. Should put the ball out here, Chelsea. And instead they go back to the goalkeeper, and it was a poor pass that, and he's given it away.
No, he's missed
out of his goal, and Ings from inside the centre circle had spotted that the goalkeeper had come off his line, and he went for goal. He ended up finding touch over on the far side.
What a great break from West Ham.
Wow.
Brilliant pass from Guillaume. Great run by him. I was screaming to him to pass it, but he delayed it. Lovely. Chose Bowen on the right-hand side. Cuts it back to Kudus. He tries to take a touch and spin. What a block.
Oh, it's brilliant from Bowen to get into the box, take it onto his left foot, set it back up to Kudus, who spun and on the turn. What a brilliant block from Tosin Adarabioyo.
They've actually I think they've deserved something from the game. I might be misjudged being involved in it and not being able to watch it back.
No, I think you're right.
I think they've done really well.
I think they've applied themselves well. The shape has been good. They haven't been as aggressive as Chelsea, but they've got a chance now. They've got in each other's way, though, Bowen and Souček.
How can you get in each other? They're the little bits of luck. They're the little moments. They've ran into the same path. He's in.
Down the right side, Bowen had a chance there, and he's just sort of hanging his head because he's upset by that. He's having a word with Souček there and telling him where he wants him next time around. The ball is about to be thrown in from the far side. Maybe there's one last chance here. And the ball with Wan-Bissaka. Remember, Chelsea have got a player who can't move at the moment, Guillaume, who's hobbling around. The ball headed down by Mavropanos, but it was so telegraphed. It was straight into the arms of the goalkeeper, and Chelsea will sit on that now. It was poor from Mavropanos. Well, look, Chelsea are down to 10 men effectively because Guillaume cannot walk, let alone run.
Has he done his hamstring?
Yeah, he's done his hamstring.
When he did the split?
Well, he did the splits at the other end, yeah.
Can you do the splits?
No, mate.
No,
never been able to do it.
No, not me.
No, it's not for me, that. Mrs. Matterface has said that she's going to do a splits challenge as part of some yoga thing that she's doing now. Not necessarily sure I'd be attempting that. But, you know.
The only split I do is have a banana split.
Is it? Ball cleared away down the right side. Gustu sends it out for a throw-in. And it'll be taken.
It's got to get in. It's got to go in the box.
96.5 minutes played.
Well played.
7 have been allotted. It's played square by Guillaume to Mavropanos, who gets to the edge of the box. He shoots from distance. I mean, okay, he's hit the target there, Mavropanos, but it is Konstantinos Mavropanos shooting from 20 yards. Is that the right decision?
No, you see, I always used to feel, and I learned this as I got a bit older, but he is older. When you're late in a game and you're 25, 30 yards out, unless you're a really good striker of the ball, and you know you're not when you're playing centre-half generally, you've got to try a little cute pass. There's loads of people there. Even if you play one blind, you're more likely to find someone with a pass with tired defenders than you are. Yeah, there you go.
Well, on a night where the transfer deadline takes the spotlight nationwide, a second-half comeback from Chelsea steals 3 points at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea beat West Ham for the third time in a row to go into the top 4 above Manchester City, and we'll hope that they put an end to their worst run of form in 2 years. Wasn't pretty. West Ham were good and arguably deserved something from the game, but it's Chelsea who take 3 points because of Neto's invention on the right-hand side, Palmer's drive and desire down the left-hand side to get the winner, which was a deflected effort off Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Unfortunate for West Ham United, who may well have recruited a GP, but it hasn't been able to prescribe exactly the right medicine yet. I tell you what, though, they look a much better side today than they did when he walked through the door. Things may be looking up for West Ham, even if results haven't said that, and this result certainly doesn't, because it's finished Chelsea 2, West Ham 1.
Yeah, Chelsea back into the top 4. West Ham stay 15th, and I think you're right, Danny Murphy. West Ham, I think, unlucky not to get anything from that game this evening. They played really well. They were leading at half-time, and the goals, I think, were unlucky. We'll talk about the VAR in a second, but the second one is a deflection. I think they played well enough to get at least a draw from the game.
I agree. I thought the biggest positive for them is that in that second half where we've seen teams of the past, as we talked about, drop in and try and protect. They actually had 3 or 4 great positions, chances second half. Great defending from Chelsea, final ball, whatever it was, but they got men up the pitch. They were positive. They had good energy, good desire. That was a really impressive. Backing up the Villa performance, to go to Villa and Chelsea and put in, I know they didn't win either game, but they were 2 really competitive performances where they caused both the opposition lots of problems, and they've lost through a wicked deflection.
Yeah, there's some positives, a lot of positives. The West Ham fans applauding the players going over to the West Ham fans. The equaliser for me is a scandal, and it shows that after 5.5 long painful years, VAR is still rubbish, and why fans hate it as well. They've decided, VAR, to spend a long time forensically analysing whether there's a touch in the middle which would mean Cucurella is offside and the goal shouldn't stand. I mean, forget all that. There's a blatant foul on Jarrod Bowen by Levi Colwill at the beginning of the move that they've decided is too early in the phase of play, so they're not going to include it. I mean, Atwell should have given it, the referee should have given it, but I just think it just shows to me all the flaws of VAR.
Do you know what, Aid? There's so many reasons or the points that we could talk on. I'm so sick of it. It's so frustrating. They're going to have to live with it, and hopefully they'll get one back. But yeah, it seemed a bit unfair, and the deflection was even crueler because that's just one of those things you can't do anything about.
Chelsea have won 2-1. They're back in the top 4. Time now for us to pick our man of the match with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
Man of the match on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever the mission, home or away, Enterprise helps over 120,000 people every day.
Who are you going for, Danny?
Well, the obvious choice is Palmer, but I actually think Kudos was the best player on the pitch.
Go for him then.
Honestly. I've never seen him work so hard, and he's so effective. He deserved the goal. He had 2 great chances. What a brilliant performance.
Mo Kudus, our man of the match from today's game with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.